nice.
Hello, folks, and welcome to you're getting a little bonus here, some video for the YouTube
Oh,
version.
sexual.
To be second part of our Silent Hill discussion, we'll be
Yeah,
talking.
we were
Hello.
yapping last time. Oh, we went on.
We rambled.
We rambled. There was a lot of discussion. We kind of went over all the plot points and stuff. We brought up like weird side games and stuff. And today we have a very special thing because there is a wonderful new Silent Hill game that's just come out.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
I've been giving
God,
it a shot.
I want him
Currently.
on the show. I want him on the show. That would be fun.
The invitation is open.
It would be interesting.
We just have to find him.
We need fucking Toady the Bro from 4chan too. The dog blowjob guy.
Oh,
Oh
God,
God.
no. So yeah, currently, if you're watching the YouTube version, you're seeing the front page of both the website and the app version of Silent Hill Ascension. This is currently only 2 days in, so not really too deep into the plot of it. Yeah.
And what exactly is it?
Currently it's telling the story between two different locations.
I mean, like, what is it? Like, what's the elevator pitch? What kind of game? It's a game, right?
Yeah, it's half game, half
Supposedly.
show. It's kind of like a live telltale game that everyone kind of interacts with. So say like there's community voting and everything, but daily there are these like scenes. I'll pull up the catch-up menu here. So last night there were 3 scenes, all about 2 minutes each, and you can watch them like all day long. You can interact with the choices that are involved with it. So I'm gonna play one of these muted currently just to show you. These clips will interact at times, and like during events, like you see here, like they're talking. But also, I don't know how to explain this until later. We'll explain the detectives that just showed up in a second.
This is so unnecessary.
It's interesting that it isn't live action.
Yeah, it's all been mocapped. It's all rendered in UE5.
Because it feels like this is just like cutscenes from a real video game that got turned into this other shit.
Yeah.
If it's not, if it's not like. If it's not going to be interactive past, choosing a path, why isn't it
Well, see, here's the thing. There is another interactive portion that I'll explain, but that's only for the live things, and it's a little weird, and I'm not going to do it justice. I will say this: look into how they explain it, because they do explain it better than I will. But during live episodes, there will be QTE segments that, and I'm going to give my honest opinion here, suck on PC. I'm pretty sure they're fine on mobile. I haven't played them on mobile, but every time I've interacted with them, yeah, they're very touch based, which I've been able to do most of it, but the community has failed both of these weird QTE segments that affect characters' hope, which leads to their outcome near the end of the game thing that they're doing.
Okay,
so I don't
it's like.
Yeah,
low hope equals bad outcome. So
yeah.
It's like a stat.
Here, I can visually show this. I believe, if you go here into the decisions menu, I'll explain this in a second. So, like, you can see here, character's current fate. And, yeah, so the fate near the end of the game is what'll kind of happen to him.
This is like fucking
interesting.
This is like Big Brother or some shit, but but it's Silent Hill.
In a way, yes. And then hope is, it says here, if a community struggles or fails to help a character endure terrors that haunt them, it will lower the character's hope, participate in daily mindfulness puzzles to improve hope, and raise their chance of survival.
Mindfulness.
Yeah, we haven't got to puzzles.
Like a fucking white woman.
We haven't got to puzzles yet. I'll explain that later. But these are the choices here. So everything has kind of 3 paths that it leads through. There's redemption, suffering, and damnation. I've currently put, for this choice right here, I've put some points into damnation. Because of the plot things going around it, I'm like, okay, it makes sense. This dude wanna...
So you phone into American Idol and tell them which singer you want to win, and
Yes.
send them money, and it gives your thing a boost. And so
Yeah.
this is one story that goes all the way through once, and then that's the end of it, or like what?
So each like basically every choice is kind of locked and will go towards the end of the season. So you're gonna see like one community, like the community path, essentially. And then at the end of everything, they're going to rerun it with all the original choices everyone made locked out. So you have to choose all the other choices.
I do think that that's interesting. I like that.
I
You know,
guess, but
letting
then
people see all the content.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I suppose.
these choices also don't all go on the same time. Like this one here ends in 3 hours from when we're recording. So this is something that ends tonight. And you can see the choices that people have made. It's pretty much all one choice because people want to see, like, they're telling a character's daughter's story because they're about to leave their home, and she's going to tell her story to keep her child's faith. So it's like, okay, that's kind of an interesting thing here, but you can actually see when this ends in 3 hours. Like, you have this choice to make if you want to.
Hmm.
I
And,
mean, no, you don't. You have the ability to click a vote
well, yeah,
button,
you know what I
and then,
mean.
well, yeah, but I mean, like, this is just democracy, the game. You just, oh, I want this one. Oh, I guess I was wrong. I guess I don't get that one then, ever. All
Well,
right.
we'll see. Here's the thing. Again, you do have that second path through, but also, and you'll see this closer to this one's event. This one had a rally point, but some people can throw points in to rally it up, so it'll be like double points that you put into it.
How do you justify spending money on this shit?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't. I did buy the
You
season pass
said
because I'm a
before we
sucker.
started recording, there's a
Well,
season pass? What the fuck?
everything has a
Jesus.
season pass now, man. I'm
Why are these
even.
cosmetics?
Well, actually, there is an interesting point behind the cosmetics. You know how I mentioned those people that were like the detectives in that little scene a minute ago?
Uh-huh.
You can actually, if it wouldn't have went away, you can vote to put your character in as a cameo. So I've got a little avatar
Uh-huh.
here where yeah, my guy looks like, I don't know how to describe what my guy looks like.
School shooter.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
about to
school
play.
shooter kind of vibe.
There we go. Pumped up kicks. You can basically make a generic character, and they have, if I can go back here, this little cameo contest where you put in 500 of these points. Like if I wanted to put, it's like, yeah, get a ticket. So, oh, it's 600 points. Wow,
So
it is exactly how many. Yeah.
quick question.
Yes.
How much is 600 of those points in
600
real world money?
in real world money. That's about like maybe 50 cents. The small IP
Okay.
pack is $5. The medium is 10, and the large is 20. I can't really justify buying these ones. I'm gonna be
What are
honest here.
they like? So it's just like weird cosmetics.
For the pack here, yeah, it's mostly like cosmetics, emotes, or
So
emoji.
you
Oh
get the ability
no.
to maybe get the chance to possibly get your character in a thing.
Yeah,
Your
which,
ugly, stupid MGS5 looking created character, your GTA Online autist gets
yep.
to be in this thing. That's cool.
So you got three choices. This one would show up in day 6 here. A choice for a starring role, which the winning avatar is cast in a starring speaking role that spans across multiple scenes. Guest starring, where it's a one-off speaking role in a featured scene, or an extra where they're just in a background role and they're just kind of there. I do think this is kind of neat. It's weird. I don't understand why you do it.
But like, aren't you competing against like thousands of people, or is it just for you?
I mean, it's kind of it's well, you're competing in a raffle, so there's
So
already been 2,000 entries, and I think
it's
starring's probably already full.
it's 2,000 people, and you get a chance to maybe use your cosmetics potentially
Yeah.
on this
Now,
game that has a limited time to exist. So you will never, you may just buy these things and never ever get to use them
I
ever.
mean, you at least get, because they've said this is going for at least 6 months for the first season. And that's not counting the
I
reroll
mean,
of the
this is so
season.
fucking annoying, though. It's like, okay, they've got 6 months of this shit. Why haven't
Yeah.
they just put out like an interactive Telltale Silent Hill movie game where you have a bunch
Yeah,
of
that would be cool.
choices?
I mean,
Yeah.
I do think once it's over, I think they should release it as like a full, like put it out as like a Telltale thing. That's what I think they should do if they want to like keep a canon story as what they've been pitching of these episodes.
Well, how is the story so far? I mean, it's
Uh,
early, right?
yeah,
Yeah, is the
it's
story at
early.
least decent enough to justify all of this?
Here's the thing. It's weird. I want to see like the two plots are currently one set in Pennsylvania. It's not set in Silent Hill. It's set in Hope's Junction, but you you play as like a
Off to a great start.
like the lead is like a cult, kind of a cult priestess in a way. The first scene we see with her is her trying to do a ritual on someone named Joy, who, spoiler alert, although it's not a spoiler, she dies, and she's trying to explain. She's trying to figure out what she did wrong with this ritual, because she's seemingly did everything right even. And she's also trying to figure out how to explain it to the people around her, like the other lead priest, this guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Mind you, I'm a little high because Cushy Dreams.
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah.
we were
We have
planning
a
on starting with
giveaway,
that.
don't we?
We do have a
Yes.
giveaway. Yes.
So
Yes,
for anybody who wants to get really high, feel really good,
Anybody
some
want to feel
high-quality
real,
stuff.
cushy?
look,
Also,
Yeah.
if for anybody who wants to get high, save money, and have a chance at winning $100 plus,
$150.
yeah, $150 in product from Cushy Dreams. God, do we have the deal for you?
Yeah. Use code
Oh,
LOUD25
boy.
at checkout with any purchase, although I recommend spending $100 with them and then using our code to get $75, because then you'll get free shipping and you'll get
Yep.
$100 worth. Then you might win $150.
That's like double your order, which is insane. That's more
Yeah.
than double your order, which is
You-
insane.
You are literally making profit here. Like,
Yeah, you're losing money not doing it. Frankly, honestly,
not even
if
taking
I'm
a
being
shot.
completely,
Even if you just want like a small pack of gummies, even if you're not taking that shot, you still can
Yeah.
win.
you have a chance of winning, even if you buy just like a single. Well, they only sell half-gram pre-rolls and fives,
Yeah,
but still.
But still,
It's a
buy a pack of half
pretty-
grams.
It's a pretty small pool of people. So unlike this stupid Silent Hill game where you have a chance in thousands to maybe get your thing done, you get your guy in. Yeah, here you have
Your,
like
your guy who has cosmetics. Ooh,
Yeah. Your
wonderful. It's trauma, yeah.
your school shooter, man.
admittedly, the itch trauma thing is really dumb, but
But it does summarize the game pretty well, if you could call it that.
So instead of having a chance to have your
Instead of
little
that.
Grimble Dimble appear in the Silent Hill story, you have a chance to win actual, real. What's the term? Hemp product.
Yeah.
Delta
Some
8.
smokable.
You can't say it's
some
real.
chewables.
It's technically not real weed, but it's real
Yeah, it's
weed
not real,
product, and it'll do the real weed thing.
Yeah, it's not real, but it'll get you there. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not real, but it's
good stuff.
spectacular.
It's as
It's
close
good
as
stuff.
possible.
I've had plenty of real recently, and I got to say, not too much difference other than intake. And honestly, I'm gonna be completely
Dreams is
honest.
better.
I think the Cushy Dreams goes in a bit smoother.
It's premium.
It is premium.
It's good stuff, and you
Premium,
have a chance
premium?
of winning $150 of it, which is nuts.
Yeah.
It was originally going to be $100, and then they
They
decided
added
to
more.
throw in some tangerine gummies.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
Those are good, by the way. Insane.
Very true. Now we'll talk about them more a little later. But again, use code LOUD25 at checkout at
That's
cushydreams.com.
That's cushydreams.com, KUSHYDREAMS.com. Code LOUD25, that's LOUD25.
Whoa. Is it loud 25?
It's loud.
Yes, it's loud. It's loud 25. I gotta put my fucking mic back down
It's
to where
free
it
real
was.
estate.
It's free real estate.
God damn it, Bane! God damn it!
Hell
loud 25. I'm still a little bit loud. I'm gonna
very
turn it
true.
down a little. There we go.
Yeah. It
Now,
works.
I gotta put like a mark where I usually have my gain at on this thing.
Oh yeah, that helps.
there
Yeah,
is
I
a
just
way
have
to.
to
Yeah,
find a metallic Sharpie or something. Anyway,
you're
let's
good.
continue.
So there is a way to earn the influence points for free, and that comes with the Arcane Library, which is a weird puzzle thing. Which I do have one complaint with their monetization thing. It locks you to one of these games per day. Like,
Oh, that is fucked. This is
Unless
the
you buy the
only
season
thing you
pass.
actually play. It's the
Well, no.
only thing you
Penis
play.
Well, no.
AIDS.
You
That's
do play these
penis
also.
AIDS.
These are also
What
free.
what are these?
These are different things. This one's cool, but playing this on a mouse is awful. What it is you play to like in-game guitar, like you tap on it to
Classic
songs.
Silent Hill songs. All
Yeah,
right.
which admittedly
neat.
it's cool. It plays like ass again on PC. It was not made for PC. This one here is Shapeshifter, which I kind of like, but I suck at. And what it is you just match. You match shit. It's fun.
Oh my god,
It's Sega Swirl.
But what you do earn a lot of free shit by doing this. But again, like these games are very easy and simple. They've even said that they're made to like get you in, get you playing, get free shit. That's what they've said, which respect. I gotta give them props for that.
I cannot believe that Konami sold a minigame collection stapled to a live not live action, a live a live service Telltale
constant
game.
series.
Yeah, you gotta give it some credit. It's a very interesting concept, but I just don't know that that's a good interesting.
Yeah, like taking off all of my clothes and running around the street across the river. That's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good thing to do.
I don't think that would be any better for the Silent Hill series, no.
I mean, here's what I'll say.
Who knows? It might save it. Hold on, I'll check.
This is the
All right, we'll wait
least
for you.
embarrassing thing that Konami has ever done with this series. I'll take this over Pachinko Machine. At the very least,
fair.
we got this in the West. At the very least, we got this in the West.
I don't.
Yeah, it's not gambling. It's just weird microtransactions and
Honestly, it's the least egregious microtransaction thing I've seen lately.
the chance to get your Scrimblow Bimblow
I don't know if
inside the story.
I don't know if it's the least egregious. Again, these are like weird fucking little cosmetics that you maybe can have in the thing if you're lucky.
It's the least egregious, at least since like, what was the last one that was like an actual game? Downpour.
Yeah, Downpour. Well, Downpour and Book of Memories. Those were the last two.
I would call Book of Memories egregious. Well, even though it's not really
weird. It's like,
from what I hear, it's a decent dungeon crawler, but Silent Hill has never been a dungeon crawler. You know.
Yeah.
Which Silent Hill in general is not a good dungeon crawler.
We're gonna get to all of the weird, bad later ones. I think we wanted to start with. I wanted to start with this one just because it's the new one. Like,
yeah, it's brand new.
This is like right now happening. It's like 2 days ago.
This was 2 days ago on Halloween night. It was launched with a 2-hour pre-stream by Kinda Funny Games, which they're not. Yeah, they're not loud equals funny, so really...
They're only
kind of funny. They're like a medium volume, yeah.
Yeah. How do you like about that, Greg Miller? We got a better name.
Yeah, fuck you!
Yeah.
We do have fucking great
fuck
name.
you, guy more successful than us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It's trauma.
Oh yeah, it is.
It is trauma. In fact, actually, hang on. Let me get that PNG.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put this shit on the thumbnail.
You might have to put it on the thumbnail.
That has to be on there, yeah.
That is the funniest thing they could have put on there.
I mean, it's great because I was when you posted that in the Discord thing, I was like, that looks familiar. What's that from? And then I realized it's from a video I didn't click on that was talking about Silent Hill Ascension. Yeah.
There we go. It's trauma.
I mean, look, I'm all for weird, like, interesting live experiment shit. This reminds me of 1 vs 100 from the 360 days.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, I've been craving for that to make a comeback. So if this is a way I can get that, yeah, all right, Keep working. They're also doing Genvid is the company behind the tech and the whole thing. I'm gonna stop casting real quick because we're kind of done with Ascension. Hey folks, I was originally going to do a Silent Hill Ascension review here, but uh, gonna be honest, I'm gonna wait till the whole season's over and kind of go back through it and watch everything then because it's kind of rough. There's good moments. I'll be honest, there are good moments, but those moments are few and far between compared to the rest of it. So I'm going to talk more about the Silent Hill short message, which is a free-to-play PlayStation 5 exclusive. I think it's exclusive temporarily. But it's one of these games that they decided to put out to be the tone setter for the future of Silent Hill to come. You know, the way I would describe it is it's really trying to like, you know, set the way they're doing it, which seems to be more. The way I would describe it is it's more than just one town and one thing now. I think what they're trying to do. They're trying to essentially, how do I word this? They're trying to make new stories in different places with similar concepts, which I think can work. The first, I guess, real thing like that has been Ascension with. So it takes place half in Norway with the Johansson family and half in Pennsylvania, which is not exactly where Silent Hill is in the canon. So I don't really know what they mean by that really, but that's interesting to me. And there are some things I like about Ascension. I'll really say the soundtrack is good. Seven Key did really good on the soundtrack, but I really want to talk more about what I want to talk more about now is the short message, which takes place in Germany. It's a modern day setting, including things like, you know, being set after the COVID-19 pandemic, and that's interesting. You know, it really is, and I think that as we're going forward with the series, we kind of have to pivot. We kind of have to. Inherently, they have to kind of do more than what they're currently doing. And what they're currently doing, or if they were currently doing, I should say. You know, I remember the series 2008 to 2012 was a really dark time, and it makes sense for them to kind of do this pivot where they can actually do more than just what they were. And maybe that does mean we have to get out of Silent Hill as a city to expand, to do more, because otherwise, yeah, what's the difference between what they were just doing for the last decade, which was nothing? Like, if they're just going to retread the same horse, I feel like that's more tiresome. I feel like it's more stressful. So them actually kind of saying, hey, we're going to do this pivot, I respect it. We have the Silent Hill 2 remake, which is still, as of recording, when we recorded this, we didn't know anything, and now almost 3 months later, yeah, we don't know anything past, hey, short message came out. That's something. The short message tells an interesting story about, you know, the concepts of who is to blame for certain things when we do them, the actions that we take and the consequences therein. It's one of those things that, like, it's hard to do and hard to do well. I think that they hit the nail mostly on the head with this storytelling. To get into some spoilers, there is a story here about bullying, a story about the kind of actions that we kind of do to other people, and I think that it's resonant. I think that the story here, it may feel a little ham-handed at times, and there's a few things that are really like on the nose, like very nail on the head things. But I respect what they did here. Short message is an interesting. It's the best foot forward we've had in a while for this series. Currently there's about 12 episodes from when I'm recording of Ascension, and I'm kind of waiting until the first season wraps up to review it. But I will review it. That is something I plan to do, honestly. But the short message is really a good tale of, maybe it's better to look after the people around you and ask people like, "Hey, are you doing okay? Are you?" The short message, as it is, means a lot of things. The title alone means a lot. It's a short message. It's about a 2 hour long experience. It's a short message. It's a free to play game, kind of shepherding the series, a short message of what's coming next. But also, its short message is, hey, maybe you should be nicer to people. Maybe you should try to look around you and see who's hurting and say, hey, I'm here for you. I care about you. It's sending that message, and that message, despite it being short, it's resonant. It rings true. There's a little bit of ham-handedness and a little bit of, the writer hasn't been in high school in years, and you can kind of tell. But there's a there's a lot of really good things here that make me feel that, yeah, at least what comes next won't be the worst Silent Hill. It won't. Inherently, it can't be. That came out in 2008. But I really think the short message, the short message is the thing to really look at for the future. I think that you've got projects like Ascension, you've got projects like the second, or actually third Silent Hill film, and I think the goal really is to hope this series knocks it out of the park with Silent Hill F and Townfall. Honestly, Townfall is what I'm probably the most excited for. But with this, I'm gonna say to people, go really give a shot for one of my favorite experiences recently, which was the short message. I think it's a great, how do I word it? It's a great sign, It's a great sign for the future of this franchise. Obviously, it has problems. I can't deny that, especially at launch. At launch, it had some weird frame rate issues during one segment, which really kind of brought you out, 'cause it's a great segment of the game. But, hey, with that, folks, that'll lead you right back into the episode we shot months ago, and I've been kind of holding back on because I didn't know how to review something. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, take it easy.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's a somewhat interesting idea. It'll kind of live and die by the writing of it, I guess, and the choices people might just wind up making really narratively stupid choices that make the whole thing have like a bad outcome,
They
you
they
know?
have they have said that if people wanted to come in and troll, like they will adjust the values. They'll kind of stop the game
Mhm.
from being trolled. But
Nobody's gonna launchpad McQuack that shit.
yeah,
Nobody's gonna Destiny Twitch plays Pokemon that shit.
I mean that's the lead guy behind it. If I can get his name right, it's I think Jacob Novik. Yeah, Jacob Novik is what I'm reading here. He was talking about that. The idea of Twitch plays Pokemon is kind of the core thing that made him want to do this. So
Nice.
I
That's a
mean,
fun little detail.
here's hoping that this doesn't end up being a piece of shit.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it depends on what'll happen. I mean,
I
like, what
like
happens in 5 years if somebody wants to play Silent Hill Ascension? It's just not an option anymore, probably.
well, what it will be
Yeah,
is
they
it'll
just
be
have
the
to watch like a
show.
compilation.
Well, because
Yeah.
they're gonna the one thing I haven't talked about yet is how they're releasing the show. They've talked about how they have some other streaming plans, but one of them is if you have a PlayStation 5 or 4 and you've downloaded a recent Sony Pictures Core app, it will be airing there at the end of each week when they release it.
Mm.
So wait,
So,
Sony has a streaming service too now?
yep. Well, it's
I'm gonna fucking
they've had one. They've
scream.
had one for a while. It was called Bravia Core, but then they ported it to PlayStation, and then now they're
Oh,
just
and they,
calling it
they also
Sony
have
Pictures
Paramount
Core.
Plus because Sony owns Paramount.
No, Sony has a partnership with Paramount, but they don't own Paramount.
Oh, okay.
CBS owns
Okay.
Paramount.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, don't you love how all these things are just a fucking flowchart.
Yeah, they're confusing as hell.
But yeah, that's all I got for Ascension, really. Jinvid is doing a Borderlands thing also, which is weird, but
Hmm.
again, they hired a lot of people
Tales from
from
the Tales of the Borderlands.
they hired a lot of people when Telltale first closed, and then when they laid off people from the new Telltale recently, they hired a bunch of people from that. So, which
They really know their inspiration, and hey, you know
I,
what?
I
Yeah,
mean,
I guess.
if it works, um, yeah. So Silent Hill. Well, actually, before we talk about Silent Hill 3, I guess I should talk about the 2 remake because we didn't touch on
Oh
that.
yeah.
Oh
So
God,
Bloober
yeah.
Team is working on it, which is the biggest red flag that's come
Yeah,
out of Konami since pachinko machines.
which
Huh.
like visually they'll get it done,
Actually,
but oh god.
probably since they stopped putting Kojima's name on the Metal Gear Solid 5 box art. Actually,
Yeah.
biggest red flag.
The only reason I'm even moderately like, even kind of in favor of them was the visuals of the medium,
Yeah,
which
it looks good.
medium was pretty as fuck and looked amazing. Its
It's just
storytelling was
the
incredibly dumb.
story. Ooh.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
also
the
doesn't
story.
it doesn't help the Bloober's storytelling outside of Observer, which I will constantly defend.
I've
It
heard that game's quite good, yeah.
Yeah, Defender. Observer is amazing, and I will defend it because it's really great. And Rucker Hauer, again, we don't have much with him anymore now, obviously.
Mm.
But yeah, the medium fell apart at the end because of a really dumb storytelling decision that I won't spoil because someone might want to play it, I guess. But
Oh, who gives a
Why?
shit?
yeah,
Why
okay,
would
it
you want to
was
do
Isn't
this
it
it
to
like a
essentially,
yourself?
yeah,
isn't it a thing that like directly because I don't know, from what I know of Silent Hill 2, isn't it something that kind of directly
it would
conflicts with a lot of the themes of that or something?
it would definitely conflict with Angela's story. That's
It's basically, abuse victims. It's their fault actually.
yeah,
Hmm.
I
It's like
allowed
so
it to
it's
happen.
stupid shit like that. Yeah, they
It
let it happen.
yeah, it's
Fuck,
literally you let it
fuck.
happen. It's like
That is
what?
Not
Um,
not quality, no.
uh,
but um, they do have a lot of Japanese staff. It's also the producer of it, and actually take control of it. Which again, here's hoping that this comes out good.
I mean, those
I
same
want to.
people signed off on Ascension and fucking all the other bad ones, so
I mean, the guy Okamoto, Motoi Okamoto, he is new. Like he's been with Konami since 2018,
mm.
and I'm just hoping that like I'm hoping that this ends up good.
yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
you
yeah.
never want stuff to be bad, especially remakes of your favorite fucking game ever.
Oh yeah,
So
favorite game of the franchise for a lot of people. Um,
it is straight up my favorite game. So it will be very difficult to see this be bad.
yeah,
I don't want it to happen. Although I think it's gonna happen because
Hmm.
like even Konami, oh, fucking Konami, even Capcom, like they fucked
Yeah.
up the Resident Evil 3 remake,
I was gonna say, yeah, they couldn't even. Capcom's had a pretty good track record.
which
Like generally, they've had a good track
funnily
record.
enough, Resident Evil 3, my favorite of the classic Resident Evils. So my favorite games and series being remade is it
Not
doesn't have
working
a
out
good
so well
track
for
record.
you.
Yeah, it's not
yeah.
great. It's not the
Oh
best in the world.
man,
It's
yeah.
just I hope it's good.
And
I
then
don't think it will be, but I hope so.
I mean
Yeah, you gotta
I'm
hold out
gonna
hope.
try it because I'm a fucking sucker for this series still. And I guess the other thing we'll talk about regarding 2 is the film. We're getting a Silent
Yeah.
Hill 2 film, which
Yeah, and it has strange additions like some
like
guy.
a whole weird re-lore, which I'll read a plot synopsis, but yeah, Christoph Gans is back. He wrote and directed the
Everybody,
first.
Everybody really needed him to come back.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
didn't. All we all just wanted him to stop eating baguettes and start working on more Silent Hill.
well, I mean, you know why he was like not able to do it, right? He was in jail for like 6 years, I think.
Oh,
Oh,
I thought he
hell.
like
oh my!
hold on, let me make sure because I might be mixing something up. If I'm mixing up a director, I will be a total
That
piece of
sounds
shit.
familiar.
Uh, yeah, okay. Oh no, that was that Roger. Oh, okay, that was Roger Avery. That's my bad. I mixed it up. Okay,
All
so
right.
the original writer got in a car crash and killed someone, and he went to jail.
Oh, so Christoph Gans is
Christoph
just
Gans is
he.
fine. I
Yeah, he's
was
just been eating baguettes. All right.
he's
Hmm.
been French.
He made a weird knockoff Beauty and the Beast movie. Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember
Wait, he
that.
made Beastly?
No, it
No,
was Beauty and the
Oh,
that's
Beast, but it was
yeah,
oh.
essentially it was like a knockoff.
No, I didn't know there was another.
Yep.
yeah. This is an
Ah,
awful resolution, but La
hey.
Belle, La Belle et la Bête. I took a bit of French in high school.
But yeah, the plot synopsis here is driven by the shadows of his past, James Sunderland returns to Silent Hill to find his lost love, Mary Crane. But the dark, depressing small town is no longer a place from his memories. He meets characters who seem all too familiar and who try to divert him from his search for Mary. The longer he searches for Mary, the more he begins to wonder if this is still reality or if he's fallen into the dark underworld of Jacob Crane.
Jacob Crane.
Why?
Yeah, you notice how that like none of that was in Silent Hill 2. Mary's name was
Yeah,
Sunderland, well, Shepherd Sunderland,
yeah,
which
and also it doesn't mention them being married
yeah,
ever,
it just says lost
which is
love.
I mean,
yeah,
maybe
which is
this is
interesting.
like, yeah, maybe this is like a weird Final Fantasy VII remake situation where it's like an alternate take on it. It's like still canon, but it's like a pocket side dimension or some shit.
Yeah, it's
Because
fucking it's weird.
I'm imagining if they made like a Metroid movie or something, and they just like
It's
randomly
it's
inserted like a suddenly like a new character. It's like Other
it's
M actually.
Samus and it's Samus and she's gonna go fight John Darkman and Ridley Beans is gonna get her. Ooh.
Man, yeah, it's I don't know. I just don't understand like Silent Hill 2 is the one that makes probably the most sense as just a movie.
Yeah, like you could basically just kind of keep it the same, really.
Yeah, they pretty like Silent Hill 1 is a little harder to adapt into a film, I think, because you have to stretch out essentially like at least 6 hours of a game into 2 hours, like or shrink it down, I should say.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And meanwhile, you can beat Silent Hill 2 pretty quickly.
Yeah, Silent. I think my fastest run of Silent Hill 2 was about 3.5 hours.
Oh wow.
That was again mostly just hitting everything I needed to hit and just running through shit.
Yeah, that's the
Wow.
thing. You can't really do montage in like a video game without it being like, more
Yeah.
cinematic. So, slap some cuts, cut out the walking between areas, and I mean, you probably have like 2 hours, maybe.
About that, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, you could just adapt Silent Hill 2 into a movie, but nope.
I mean, I would
No,
imagine
he
there's
has to
all.
add Jacob Crane.
I would imagine there's probably like a video somewhere on YouTube that's like Silent Hill 2 cutscene movie that is basically that with the cutscenes and just like a little bit of walking between rooms, maybe solving a puzzle or something, but like mostly just the cutscenes. And yeah, it would probably be pretty much film length. Yeah, I don't understand why they would need to add because I'm not a big Silent Hill guy, but like the idea just here's just a random new character that is not like needed or known or anything. It's like okay.
Yeah, it's like
Silent Hill 2, all cutscenes, full game movie, 4K Ultra XD by Gamer's Little Playground. An hour and 28 minutes. Silent Hill
Wow.
2, all cutscenes and endings HD game movie by Fungo. 2 hours and 3 minutes.
So it's movie length either way.
Yeah,
About that, yeah.
like even if you include every single ending.
Yeah.
So yeah, what were you gonna say, Bane?
I'm just trying to think of like why you'd change it, but it just baffles me.
Yeah. They got to add their own little take on things. It's probably some producer, some creative who's like, "Well, I want to make this my movie."
Yeah, yes. I've created the wonderful character of Jacob Crane in my brain, and I got to get him out there so all of the Crane heads, they have something to look forward to.
Fuck yeah, crane heads rise up.
I'm a Crane head,
I'm
honestly.
gonna get Crane tattooed on my fucking forehead.
Tattooed
Hell
right on
yeah.
my face, just flashing one crane head. Hell yeah. Crane Chads rise up.
I'm gonna walk into Starbucks and then they're gonna kick me out for being white. I can't believe it.
Hell yeah. A little too much of a crane head. But yeah, no,
Let's talk about Silent Hill 3.
yeah, so Silent Hill
Let's do
3 is personally my favorite.
I like Silent Hill 2 a lot. I think it's number 3 for me though. I really like 2, and I remember loving 4.
4 was
Like not quite
4 was
as
wild.
not quite as much as 2, but I liked that it was kind of disconnected, but also like heavily intertwined with Silent Hill. I liked that.
Silent Hill 3 is the most connected to the first one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's
It
essentially
is.
a direct sequel.
Funny enough, though, it did not start that way. For a little fun fact, it originally
Really?
started as the first plan for what became Silent Hill Arcade. It was supposed to be a rail shooter.
Silent Hill
Huh.
Arcade. Okay.
Yeah,
I've never played Silent Hill
I didn't
Arcade.
hear about that.
We'll touch on Silent Hill Arcade in 2 sentences. It's a rail shooter. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. That's literally all you need to know about it. It's got a plot, but
Yeah,
kinda
there
like,
is something to be said about rail shooters. They're kind of a dying art these days.
It's
we
like
need
Resident
more.
Evil Gun Survivor or whatever.
Well,
No,
Resident Evil Gun
it's-
Survivor
it's not a
fucking
rail
sucked.
shooter.
Well, that's a different kind of rail shooter, but this is more like House of the Dead 1, 2,
Time
like
Crisis or
yeah,
something. Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah,
like that.
okay.
Like you gotta aim up to reload. You gotta all that. It's fun. My friend has my friend's got a system where you can emulate like actual light gun shit properly,
Ooh,
and
nice.
it's fun. But it's also a pain in the ass to get working if you try to. So
No, yeah. Well, I would assume so. Emulating arcade's always been kind of hard.
oh yeah, but it can be done if you know the right places to look.
Yeah,
that's-
unless you have
that's
like
your
a
Silent Hill Arcade,
CPS2 that you want to emulate. Like, if you want to emulate fucking the arcade version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, nobody in this world is gonna fucking stop you.
Oh yeah, hell,
But
it's
like
probably
more
the
and more
better way to
complex
play it.
stuff. Yeah, honestly,
You
but like more
download a
complex
huge-
stuff like Time Crisis and stuff. That's difficult.
I mean, even you get like a huge fucking pack of like weird old 80s games, and it's like, well,
Yeah,
you're just never gonna play.
Karnal's Revenge.
Yeah, you like weird. There's so many like random obscure ones that are just like never going to work with MAME, because nobody cares about them. But
Yeah.
But
I'm sure that Silent Hill are. I've never heard about that though. That's cool. And that was originally going to be the third game.
yep, that's what the development started as, and they started prototyping it, and they were like, it's maybe not what we want to do for the third game. And by that time, they had already spent about half their budget.
Nice.
Yep. This, in a way, actually, without putting too much blame on them, this is kind of the start of Konami getting pissed at them and leading to what happens later. That's foreshadowing.
Mm.
Yeah. Foreshadowing is a literary device.
Believe me, I wish it wasn't. I really fucking wish it wasn't. But out of that, we got a weirdly, like, I think incredibly brutal, like, in a way gory, like,
Yeah, it's
it's the most
something
like
else.
visually violent game.
Yeah.
Like my favorite scene, which is jumping ahead a little bit, but is when you walk into a room and on your end of the mirror, it's perfectly like, yeah, I think it's perfectly fine on your end, But on the other end, it is just full of these blood vines that just kind of come out of everywhere around you and start overtaking Cheryl. And or Heather, and if you actually stay in there, it will kill you.
Yeah,
Which
I really like that one.
it's fucking wild. They did so many weird things. It's the first jump scare that really got me that I still remember. Also, if you remember the mannequin room.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a room where you walk in and you pick something up. It's near a mannequin, and a whole bunch of these mannequins are just standing in there, and it's fine. You turn around, you go to walk out the door, and you're a clatter and a fucking scream. And if you're me, when you first played it, you pissed your pants, which I'm fully admitting because fuck it, I did.
Nice.
But it was
literally?
I literally pissed my pants. I was not
Oh,
expecting that
nice.
scream.
I gotta say, I've never been so scared I've pissed my pants.
I was about like 14, and
Oh, yeah.
I finally got the game, and I was playing at about like 2 a.m. on a Saturday. So I was primed to like freak out if I was gonna hear something out loud. I had Home Alone. I was playing on a big screen TV. I was not expecting that shit. But yeah, Silent Hill 3, you get introduced to Heather, who is, I believe,
Is
like
in no way connected to the previous games whatsoever.
yeah, she's like 16 or 17. She's like a kind of nerdy, kind of, I wouldn't say like popular girl, but she like not out of place in that kind of group, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
She's snarky, she's like a final girl protagonist, which makes sense.
She's the type of bitch to fall asleep in a Starbucks.
Yeah, in a mall. In a mall in the 2000s.
A mall Starbucks.
I mean, yeah. So she
had the
wakes up.
She had the 512 megabyte media player. You know, it held like
Oh, yeah.
3 hours of MCR. So yeah.
Oh, that could
Nice.
hold enough Panic at Disco to keep an emo girl just perfectly fine throughout the day.
Oh yeah.
God, we might have a tangent on a normal episode about emo girls and fucking Panic at Disco.
Oh, of course. You gotta talk about Ian Watkins.
Oh no. Maybe not on that one, but yeah, no. Heather gets accosted by a dude wearing a trench coat in a mall, talking to a 16-year-old girl, which, always a great sign. Nothing bad ever happens like that.
On New Game Plus, he doesn't have any clothes on.
Oh god, you're right. That makes it even weirder.
That's terrifying. Yeah, horror game.
Yeah, the implications there. So yeah, she decides to he tells her like, hey, there are people looking for you. You need to come with me. Which again, dude in a trench coat telling a teenage girl that is, great move, smart idea.
She escapes out of a bathroom window, which understandable, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, hey, jumps back in through a window, and then as she's kind of going through, the mall gets really fucking weird and starts to get really bloody. You find a handgun in the first and admittedly really fucking creepy monster segment where you're like you go into this like shitty small clothing store that's like almost completely barren. You find a gun and then this just big fucking flesh. I don't know, describe it other than like somebody tied flesh together. If that makes sense.
All blart flesh mall.
Kinda.
I like those things.
Those things are fucking weird. I'm trying to find the name of them. I can't remember. The name
Yeah,
of them
I forgot the name of them too.
We'll just call them big bitches. So big bitches. Actually, no. There's something else later we call big bitches. But fisters. We'll call them fisters. These fucking fisters are kind of everywhere.
Good name.
And
these fucking fisters.
They'll hit you with this like big like lump of flesh, but then they have this little like bone thing that sometimes they'll like throw out if you're at a longer distance. I think it's the same creature. I'm almost certain. But yeah, those fuckers are annoying and I hate them. There's also these flying box things. They have like like swords on them that will fly towards you and spin.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're a pain in the fucking ass. But you go through the mall, you see a lot of weird, fucked up shit, and then you end up meeting the weirdest villain in the series, Claudia Wolf, who her eyebrows are completely shaved off.
Good
Yeah.
first sign. Good first sign.
Yep. Which
Honestly.
and then she dresses. The best way to describe it is like a 50-year-old crystal woman. You know?
Yeah, she dresses like a nun, but without the fucking like white bits
Yeah.
and
She
the head garment.
she's also walking through a fucking essentially a Pennsylvania mall barefoot, which that will get
Yeah,
you an
she don't
STD.
got those grippers are out.
Yeah, that will get you a fucking STD if you're walking around. It's essentially a like Pittsburgh mall, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, but you run into her in the mall, and she's like, "I've been trying to find you. I've been trying to find real you," which is kind of weird. Why would someone say that? Obviously, you are you. Why would you be a real you? What do what does that mean?
Hmm.
Hmm. Um. But yeah, no, you get to hear her talk about what paradise is, which in the Silent Hill lore, paradise does not sound like paradise.
Yeah.
It sounds like we are going to be whatever this creature is, this plaything, and it's living fleshlights.
Ah.
Yep,
Well,
that's
it's
the best way to
paradise for
describe it.
them.
Yeah, I
Ain't
know.
Silent Hill wonderful?
Yeah,
Paradise is subjective.
Yeah,
very
I guess
true.
if they really want to be that, hey, mashallah, I'm not gonna stop you,
There you go.
Wait, hey, I get it. So, yeah, we get to
hang on a second.
yeah,
I think we're gonna need to analyze that. You get it, huh?
yeah. Ooh, ah, shit. I'm fucking high.
Same.
Understandable.
But yeah, that's also when we get to the elevator scene, which is in the intro cutscene for the trailer or the game. Uh, which that elevator sequence where you basically see like different creatures get tortured and pinned alongside the elevator while you're going, I think, up. Which, mind you, this is only like a 2-floor fucking. This is like a two
Yeah, it's a
floor
long
thing.
elevator ride.
Yeah, you get on an elevator that takes you up real fucking high where there's no fucking floor.
Mm.
I love that is something I do love about the other world in the series. It's kind of a weird it makes no fucking sense of geometry, but it's just there.
Non-Euclidean.
Yeah, non-Euclidean. I couldn't think of the name of it.
Mm.
Like, it makes no fucking sense where you're at. It's like, oh, I'm on the 5th floor of a 2-floor building. Hell yeah. It's like, yeah, okay. The series has always kind of done that since the first game. I think we talked about the elevator to the basement that didn't exist in the
Yep.
first game. But yeah, so you get to fight one of the first bosses in the series that I actually don't like fighting. The fucking split worm.
Yeah, the worm fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's like, oh, did you fucking use any ammo beforehand if you're playing on higher difficulty? Fuck
Yeah, it
you,
sucks
skill
to be
check.
you.
Yeah, it's literally skill check for inventory.
That sounds quite annoying, yeah.
Yeah. So you get to after that though, you do get to go to the real world for a little bit. You don't get a lot of fog or anything. That's when you go into the subway, where you go back into the other world. Which the
I
subway's
there
kind of
there's
freaky.
there's this one bit that I really like in the subway,
Yeah.
and it is the best example of why I believe that fixed camera angles fucking work. Like
Yes.
especially in horror. You're going by the subway. I forgot where exactly this was, but there's a camera angle shift. And you see that down on the tracks, you go into the tunnel a little bit, there's a door, illuminated red. So
Oh
you go
yeah.
down there and you walk over to the door, the lock is broken. And then you hear the sounds of a train and you have to run and get back on the platform.
Yep. And
It is
it's
so good.
that pure
I
panic
love
of
it.
like, Oh fuck! What did I? Why did I
Yeah,
not just get back on the train tracks? Why did I even
it's
come
it's
down
it's
here?
it's the game actively fucking with you, and I think that's amazing in horror games,
Oh yeah.
especially psychological
Yeah.
horror
If
games.
you actually linger also a little bit too long, like if you leave your
You'll
controller
get run
down,
over.
yeah, you'll get put. Well, no, if you're on like off the
Oh,
tracks even and you're like really close to it, but you just kind of like sit there for a bit, something will push you onto the tracks.
I
So
didn't know that.
yeah, that is one where it's like, again, you have to be waiting there for a while. Like it's generous, but after a bit, it'll just be like, all right,
Yeah.
fucker, you're going on. I love that
Yeah,
shit.
I do it. That sounds the way that like yeah, horror games fuck with you and I remember always the Eternal Darkness thing where they would start doing the sanity effects or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, where it would
Those
start to
the
Yeah.
like
big ones.
switch your AV.
Yeah.
Mute your TV, delete your
Oh,
save file, stuff
my,
like
my
that.
favorite one was to delete your save file because it would be so convincing. Because like
Yeah,
you
it,
press
it,
the
it got
button
me.
to be like, oh fuck.
Oh God.
Which I mean, I wish more games did that. That shit's
Yeah, that's
clever.
fun.
But yeah, no,
Yeah, because in stuff like Amnesia, the sanity effect is just like, oh, the screen's wobbly.
oh,
Yeah,
that's such a
meanwhile,
pain
like
in the
Ooh.
ass.
MGS had that stuff and it wasn't even trying to be a horror game.
Yeah, it's great. That's why I'm so sad. I know we're gonna get on this later. I'm so sad that Silent Hills got canceled because Kojima can
Yeah.
fuck with the player
Well,
sometimes.
it's funny, I was just gonna say apparently this new Alan Wake game is like considered basically Silent Hills, the closest thing we're getting to it ever.
It's really
Nice.
good. I will say that so far.
Somebody
It's really
so-
good.
somebody said something to that effect on Twitter, and I think Kojima liked the tweets, and everybody's like, "Oh,
I'm really gonna have to play that game.
yeah,
I will recommend it so far. That's what I will say.
I'm legally downloading it as we speak."
Hey.
I don't have anything that can run it, so I'm just gonna have to
I
wait.
probably don't either.
Oh yeah, I saw how much of a tax it was for my PC, and I was like, yeah, no.
I mean, I'm able to do BG3, but like, yeah, then also the RoboCop game is like surprisingly really nice looking, and I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna run on here either.
By the way, if you're interested in sponsorship opportunities, hit up hosts at loudequalsfunny.com.
I'll
Yes.
play the RoboCop game if you're sponsoring us. Otherwise,
I'll
don't play it.
no, I'll play it otherwise. I'll play it no matter what. I love
Yeah,
RoboCop.
I've heard it's good.
I've heard,
Anyway, we
yeah.
should we should get on
Yeah.
with Silent Hill 3.
On the RoboCop series discussion, yes.
Yeah, speaking of RoboCop, Silent Hill
Yes.
3.
So yeah, we get through the subway, which it can be a little rough if you don't remember where everything is.
I remember having trouble with it.
Yeah, it can be a little rough. Silent 3 is a little rough around the edges, but you get a good story out of it, so it's worth it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like Resident Evil Code Veronica. It's unbalanced.
yeah. So we get to go
Excuse me.
through the Hilltop Center, which is it's pretty fun. I think that it's also got the first big puzzle of Silent Hill 3, which is uh Tufui Igo Eris. I can never pronounce that correctly. I'm bad with
Oh jeez.
I'm bad with dead
Yeah.
languages.
Huh. Is this not the Shakespeare puzzle?
This is the fairy tale puzzle.
Mm.
Because the
The
Shakespeare
fairy tale
puzzle,
puzzle is different from the Shakespeare puzzle, but the
yeah,
Shakespeare puzzle is fucked.
yeah, the Shakespeare puzzle is a little bit later when you get to the amusement park.
Yeah, the
Which
infamous. I'm
we
What?
didn't
looking
talk about
forward
the
to it.
intro where you do get ran over by the train, but
No. The Shakespeare puzzle was at the shopping center
oh yeah, it was,
because it was in
yeah,
the bookstore.
yep, yeah, you're right. We didn't talk about that then.
What is the? Because Tristan, you say it's like
Okay.
ridiculous.
Yes. Okay. So I'm just gonna tell you, and I want you to like I want you to guess what the answer is. So keep this in your head. There are 5 books: Romeo and Juliet, which is Shakespeare Anthology 1; King Lear, which is Shakespeare Anthology 2; Macbeth, which is 3; Hamlet, which is 4, and Othello, which is 5. Now, on hard difficulty, you had to put these in a specific order. On easy, you basically just put 2 books in, I think.
Yeah.
And on normal, there's only 4 numbers, so you just kind of like put them in places that make sense.
Yeah, you kind of have to like
On
shuffle them
hard,
around.
oh boy, on hard. In here is a tragedy. Art thou player or audience? Be as it may, the end doth remain. We all go on only towards death. The first words at thy left hand, a false lunacy, a madly dancing man. Hearing unhearable words, drawn to a beloved's grave, and there mayhaps true madness at last. As did this one, playing at death, find true death at the last. Killing a nameless lover, she pierced the heart rent by sorrow. Doth lie invite truth? Doth verily but wear the mask of doth verity but wear the mask of falsehood? Ah, thou pitiful, thou miserable ones! Still amidst lies, though the end cometh not, wherefore yearn for death? Wilt thou attend to thy beloved? Truth and lies, life and death, a game of turning white to black and black to white. It's not done. Is
I
not a
know.
silence brimming with love more precious than flattery? A peaceful slumber preferred to a throne besmirched with blood? One vengeful man spilled blood for 2. 2 youths shed tears for 3. 3 witches appeared thusly, and only the 4 keys remain. Ah, but verily, in here is a tragedy. Art thou player or audience? There is nothing which cannot become a puppet for fate, or an onlooker peering into the cage. Answer the riddle, bitch.
God damn.
What? Okay, which part of that is a puzzle or a riddle? I'm so
All of it.
confused.
It is all that's the entire text they give you.
But like, what are you supposed to puzzle out from that? What I don't
You're-
get
you're-
how you're
where to put books.
logically
You're-
supposed to
You're
get
you're
through
supposed to put them in a different order to get a code for like a door, I think.
Yep.
So you're supposed to
Okay.
put them in a specific order.
that. Oh,
And
so it's like the Ocarina, like 23 is number 1, but like super pretentious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
it requires you to know at the very least the basic plots of Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, King Lear, and Othello. And I gotta say, when I first played this game, I was in high school. I had only read Romeo and Juliet and seen a bit of Hamlet.
Mm.
And even since then, I've only seen Macbeth performed. So I only know those 3.
So does the game expect you to like actually go to like your library and try to like study this kind of
guess.
thing?
That is
That's kind of cool.
It's weird, but it's
That's
kind
the
of in
thing.
depth, and I respect it.
Yeah.
I'm saying that this is a bullshit puzzle specifically because I like it so much. It is
Yeah.
it's hard, but I love it for that. Because you have to the game just has the balls to say, "All right, bitch, time to study Shakespeare."
I mean,
It's
like
you're
that's so
gonna
much
learn.
better. I would, that's frustrating maybe if you can't figure it out and you're stupid, but like and like I include me, like I would probably be stupid and not figure it out, but like that's so much better than wait a minute, that card like Skyrim puzzle bullshit where it's just like match the pictures or something. Like that's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I wish there were games with like really good puzzles nowadays because I can't really think of a game recently that has like great puzzles.
Honestly,
Baldur's Gate 3 has a few that are kind of cool.
I'm gonna have to play that game
I need to play more of it when I have currently.
after this year. My backlog is gonna be so fucking packed.
It's unbelievable. Well, after this, it's going to continue. But,
Oh yeah, it's gonna continue at least into the beginning of 2024. But
It's gonna hurt my wallet.
yep.
Plus, I mean, there is a rumor of if the because the achievements have shown up at one point for the Silent Hill 2 remake, we may be getting that sooner rather than later.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, I heard it's gonna be 2024, but like, if I were to guess, it would probably be like early 2024, maybe like March.
I think about that time. But to continue the summary of 3 real quick. Um, so yeah, you meet Vincent, who is one of
I
my
like
favorite
Vincent.
characters. He's fucking a wild card, literally a wild card
Yeah.
of a situation.
Hmm.
You don't know whether he's gonna help you or fuck you over the entire game, which is something I kind of like. He's again a wild card. But yeah, you
Okay.
eventually get to the apartments and you find the body of your father, who is revealed to be Harry Mason.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh shit. So yeah, Harry was your father. You've been Heather Mason this entire time. Who
This is
is yeah.
I believe where the UFO ending happens, by the way.
This is yeah.
We'll get to that later.
Well, we could get to it now, real quick. Just touch on it.
So wait,
Well,
she was Cheryl in the first game, wasn't she?
Yep. So what had happened at the end of the first game was she had fully merged, like Alessa had merged with Cheryl, and at the end, once you did use the liquid on, like a coffin used the liquid on her, um you eventually, after defeating everyone around you, and the portal opens, the combined form gives you a baby, which is the recombined
canon.
form of them.
Yeah, that's the canon ending.
Yep. Well, actually, like, whether you get the good or good plus ending, that part is still canon. We just don't know if Sybil's alive. She's probably hanging out somewhere, but
Yeah, she's just having tea. You know how
yeah.
it is.
Is she the one with the spinning? Which one was the one with the spinning?
Oh, that was Dahlia. That was the old lady.
Yeah, Dahlia.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sybil was the cop.
Spin.
But yeah,
So speaking of having tea, so the
yes.
UFO ending is really funny because I forgot exactly how you get the ending,
It is
but
a second playthrough. You get let's see if I can find it here. Okay, so cannot be acquired on the first playthrough, and you have to
yeah.
unlock the Heather Beam or Sexy Beam outfit and kill at least 31 monsters with the Heather Beam or Sexy Beam before entering Harry's apartment. Also, when
Yep.
entering Harry's apartment, you must not have any weapon equipped, including the Heather Beam.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
The Heather Beam and the Sexy Beam sounds wild out of context, by the
Yeah, I
way.
Yeah.
was gonna say what exactly the sexy Heather beams are.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
Aren't these just guns? I thought this was just a game with guns. Does she
Well,
shoot
I mean, Silent Hill
lasers?
2 Silent Hill 2 also has secret weapons like that. Like it has the spray and it
Oh,
does
I
more
see.
Yeah.
damage depending on how many like stars in the end that you get.
It's
Yeah,
like the
we didn't touch on the unlockables and all that.
Yeah.
it's like the Shadow the Hedgehog Billy Hatcher gun. Yeah.
Yep. The Heather Beam
Yeah.
is only unlockable once you defeat at least 333 monsters. So you have to do at least multiple
Huh.
playthroughs.
Yeah,
And then
nice. Nice.
and
That's pretty
then
cool,
once you
yeah.
get the once you do that and you have the Princess Heart costume, which I know I'm gonna have to explain this one a little bit more. But once
Oh
you
boy.
unlock the Princess Heart costume, then you get the Sexy Beam. And the Sexy Beam does more damage.
Let me get a picture of that.
Both of them do affect your health, like your stamina bar, which means you can't run pretty often once you use
So
them. But
how old is the sexy beam girl again?
yeah,
Yeah. It's
well,
Japan in the
this is a
2000s. Cut them a little bit of
this is a
slack.
Yeah.
magical girl. Actually, this
Well,
is more
it's
like Sailor Moon.
it's also yeah, okay, and it's also kind of like the horror movie trope to have like high school, sorority girls or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
So
good lord. This is a bit of a tangent, but Joel was on streaming on the Vineyard
oh,
for
yeah.
Halloween, and it is shocking how many old horror movies have underage protagonists that get,
Oh yeah, every Friday the
have things
13th
happen to
movie is
them.
like 16-year-old chicks getting nude. It's every Friday the 13th film.
Yeah, Fright Night, it has
Oh yeah,
some, yeah.
Friday Night's fucking weird.
I've long wondered watching Best of the Worst, like why is there such a connection between people watching like topless titty sexy cheerleader movie, but then also all of them get horribly murdered? That
I
seems
was
weird.
wondering that too. There's a lot of sex going on in horror stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe,
it's
maybe sex makes people uncomfortable. I don't know. Like
Well,
it's not
yeah.
like it's not presented as uncomfortable though. At least
No.
sometimes.
Well, this sounds a
yeah.
lot like in that, what is it, Fatal Frame or whatever, where you can like give the girls, or there's like one of the Fatal Frame games has like a wetness system or some shit where
Hmm. I think that's
you
made in black water.
yeah, you have to like keep her appropriately wet t-shirt contested. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Cool horror game.
then of course there's the Resident Evil fandom who are consistently horny, like consistently.
Yep.
Well, they get like supermodels to play all of the protagonists now, so I guess that's
Fair. Julia Voth, please return my calls. Thanks.
Wow, you know something I'm realizing. There was technically an interesting remake of 3 that we'll talk about later. I think you'll like this, but I'll save that for later.
Hmm.
I think I know
Um,
what you're talking about.
oh,
So
you,
UFO ending.
yes,
So in the normal game, you walk into the apartment. Oh fuck, Harry's dead. That sucks. In the UFO ending, you walk into Harry's apartment. He's just sitting there having tea with an alien, and then James Sunderland is just chilling in the background. And then they do like a fucking karate contest.
yep. The UFO
I,
endings are
I
great.
love the UFO endings.
Even in the later games, when those games suck, the bad endings are still pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Back to the sucky reality.
yeah.
Harry's dead.
Harry Mason, the protagonist of Silent Hill 1, is killed by two things. By a creature that is known as, I believe, the Missionary, and by Claudia. And you fight the Missionary, which is an okay boss fight. You know, it's a wild, weird thing, but we're also starting to learn. You know, we learned from Claudia that her motive for doing everything is because Harry forwarded the plans, and she wanted to be the new leader of the cult. So she took over and decided to kill Harry and try to start everything back in motion. Try to start God's birth again. You know.
Mm.
So it's okay. This thing does say here 17 years since. Okay, so yeah, Heather is 17.
Yeah,
It's
I'd
not
rather like
great.
a very fresh 18,
Yeah, it's
which is still a little weird.
yeah. But we decide to team up with that little detective guy we met at the start and go to the titular Silent Hill. We've been in, I think it's Ashfield is where they say it is.
Is that a real town?
I don't know. I'm trying to find. Uh,
Ashfield, PA. That's a real town.
there we
A
go.
township in Pennsylvania, East Penn Township.
So yeah,
You
we
said
It's an unincorporated community though, so it might not
Silent
be the same thing.
Silent Hill wasn't based on Centralia, even
uh
though this is about that's
No.
Pennsylvania.
funny enough, that is from a
Masahiro
movie.
Ito is
That
that's just the movie.
Yeah, it is from a
Mm.
movie. So Silent Hill,
But
because in the first game and even in the later ones, it's like the first one it's considered snow, but in the later ones it's
yeah.
fog.
Mm.
It's weird. Fog works better. Fog works way better. But
Yeah, fog happens less often, I think.
plus, I think like thematically, like being in a fog, it makes more sense. It's more clever.
Yeah, it's more spooky.
I do still like the snow, and I'm glad they kept it for Shattered Memories.
Oh, true. When we talk about Shattered Memories, I'll talk about how I would kill for a modern remake of that game. But that's neither here nor there. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, we go into Silent Hill, which we started like the little inn, and then we go to the hospital. We kind of hit our Silent Hill best of essentially. Brookhaven in Silent Hill 3, I think, is more disturbing than it is in some of the other games.
Mm.
Yep, we we find notes from a weird character named Stanley Coleman, who Stanley's notes are some of the creepiest fucking notes in the series. That's all I'll say. People look them up. That's all I'm gonna say. Um,
Okay.
but we meet we meet another person there named Leonard. You know, he's on the phone and he's calling us, and you know he's offering to help us, and we decide to go to him. And it turns out that one, he's the father of Claudia, who um, is essentially, you know, he's not even a fan of his daughter, but he's still pissed that you're who you are. Um, but you defeat him, and then you get the seal of Metatron, which, you know, it's more of it's a known kind of, yeah, it's kind of a known thing in the series from the first game. You know, you were
Right,
Yeah.
right. I
um
believe you mentioned it was not a transformer. That's correct.
exactly
Yeah, sadly, there are no Transformers in Silent Hill 3. I wish
not
though.
not
We
yet.
can dream.
We can always
Maybe
we
in
can
the
We
always
can
remake.
mod them in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
get on it, Nexus mods. John Nexus.
But yeah, we get there. We end up hearing Claudia and Vincent having a conversation. Um, Claudia is also kind of pissed at us also now for having killed her father, even though he was a piece of shit. But that's, you know, it's neither here nor there. Um,
Yeah.
but we meet Vincent up again, and he tells us that the church that we need to get to is all the way on the other side of the lake, and to get there. So
Go fucking do it.
oh yeah. From there, we end up getting to the amusement park, which is an amazingly fucking
The
creepy.
Yeah, the amusement part is the most iconic part of this game. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's wild. It's well designed. It's fucking the carousel horses still. I
It
think
even
are
it,
visually
it
amazing.
even makes a cameo before you start playing the actual game as like a dream that
Yeah.
Heather has.
In the little
Mm.
intro, you get to see something really clever. You should watch it. It's great.
Yeah,
Um,
I really like it.
but yeah, we you know we go through we start to find more people. We find Douglas, like he runs into Claudia, and they get in like a little tiff, and yeah, tries to fire at her, but she gets away, and he's got a fucking broken leg when we come back to him because she has psychokinesis in a way. It's weird.
Mm.
Um,
Psychokinesis.
yeah. So we learned that Douglas
And
was Yeah.
she doesn't have to spin to do it.
Yeah.
Progress.
No gyromancy needed. You don't need to shake around.
No coppermancy either. That's good.
Of course, hopefully not.
No.
I don't know about
Yeah,
this
I would
cold,
certainly fucking hope so.
but you know, we end up finding ourselves in one of the carousels that was, you know, where Harry had a battle at, where we meet the memory of Alessa, who is a rotting version of Heather. The best way to describe it is it's like if Heather had been a corpse for like 20 years.
Yeah, it got kind of crispy.
Yep. We defeat her, and then she disappears. Obviously, like you kind of merge with her. It makes more sense later, but once
So
you
she's like part of your personality or something like that.
yeah, it's like after that point, as you go through the game, you'll find more things that like or things that Heather will remember as both something that Cheryl would remember and that Alessa would remember. It's actually kind of nice. But yeah, we start to go through the church, and we find that, you know, we end up finding that Claudia, like her want for the god to be birthed is that essentially there is way too much suffering, and that no matter what, even if she tried to do all the good she could, the only way for her to do good would be to birth God. Or at least like usher God in.
Yeah.
Because
the power to.
well, because the only person that really has the power to is Heather. Because the like it's hard, it's weird to explain, but technically she's had the god lying dormant within her entire life.
Oh, she's fucking Princess Elise from Sonic 06. What a shame.
Yep. Because she is still essentially Alessa, just basically reincarnated a third time over. She still has all the same basic things that Alessa would have had, essentially, which she was born from her birth. The god was dormant in her, basically. So therefore, via transit property, Heather is got a baby in her, essentially, a baby that is non-active.
Yeah, it puts her in an awkward spot
Dormant
for sure.
baby.
Yep, dormant baby.
So it's better than Metroid Other M then,
Yeah,
in terms of baby imagery.
Yeah, of course. Hey,
Okay.
no baby imagery. It's all internal. It's great.
Yeah, you just get talked about a little bit.
Exactly.
Talking about a baby.
But yeah, as we're going through, we start to see more things that Heather remembers as different past life stuff. But we eventually run into Vincent, who says one of my favorite lines of the series, where she's talking about the monsters, and he says, "Monsters.
They look like monsters to you."
Yeah, it's like,
Huh.
it's like, oh, because, and then he says after Heather reacts like completely fucking freaked out, which understandable. I'm only kidding.
It was only joke. It was prank.
Yeah, can't you take a joke? Like, that wasn't a joke. That wasn't a joke.
If there's ever like a zombie apocalypse or some kind of like fucked thing where monsters invade, I'm gonna fuck with somebody like that just to see how they respond.
See, the first thing most people do is probably shoot you. It's like, yeah, no.
Oh.
Yep. Just like, well, been killing people all along. Might as well just start doing it for real.
So yeah, after we like learn from him where Claudia's gonna be and what we need to do, essentially, we decide to head out and just head straight to her, basically. I'm obviously kind of like speed running this. We're not gonna be here 3 hours,
Yeah.
So we meet up in the altar room, and Vincent somehow got ahead of us, because I'm kind of skipping ahead of a couple things. And he's relieved when he sees Heather in there with the Seal of Metatron. As it turns out, the seal really doesn't do much. At least in this instance, it's like kind of useless. So Vincent gets stabbed twice by Claudia, and that sends Heather into such a rage that the god within her activates, essentially.
Sonic dies and then she cries.
Pretty much.
The baby is no longer dormant.
Yeah. The baby kill streak has been active, Call it in, operator, what have you. So yeah.
Kilimanjaro, baby.
Baby activated.
Heather is like, her body is like falling apart as the god's starting to take over. And then a plot device, which I have not mentioned, but has been around her neck this entire game, has been a necklace that she's gotten from her father when she was very young. And it contains a bit of a crystallized version of the red liquid, the Agolophytes nuts. There we go.
Yeah.
Got
Yep. So she takes that and throws up a bloody fetus, essentially.
Oh, you don't want that. Don't do that next time.
Which, funny enough, when we talk about PT, this actually does look like the little fetus that's in the little.
Damn it! I accidentally posted a
web P. Laugh at him. Web P.
I got web peed. I can't believe this.
There we go. So yeah, it looks like a little chicken fetus.
It's all curled up there.
Yep. So basically what ends up happening is she tries to stomp on it, and Claudia pushes her all across the room, like just shoves her, and decides to eat God's fetus corpse.
Oh, tasty.
Yep. She starts
delectable.
she starts basically having a seizure and falls in the hole.
Nice.
Which I forgot to mention there's a hole in the floor, but that's neither here nor there. So we decided to follow her in because we couldn't leave well enough fucking alone. I would not have.
We're fucking insane.
Yeah, I would not have. If I see somebody's body fall in a hole, they're dead. Goodbye. But it seems like this was probably the smarter idea because Claudia has given birth to God, and essentially this is like a half.
Oh yeah, I
birth.
don't want that to happen there. No gods, that's not good.
Not at all. No, not. I don't know about that, yo. I don't know what I just became. Jesus. So yeah, Claudia basically half birthed the god, and I'll just send an image of what it looks like to you guys. It does not look healthy.
You know, just take, you know, have some OJ.
I can fix her.
By the way, I did forget to mention the hole in the floor looked definitely a little symbolic. I don't know if you guys could tell the symbolism. It's a little subtle.
Yeah, it's a yeah.
It's a Jussie.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I respect it. They got away with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, God is a tough boss fight. I'm gonna be honest.
You would imagine so.
You'd hope. With that, I think I can basically describe the two endings very quick here, because I think my food
the other two.
Yeah, the other two. Yes. So we'll start with the bad ending first, probably. We fast forward from killing God to seeing Heather standing in the amusement park, and she's kind of holding a knife in her hand. She's kind of just standing there, and we pan down to see Douglas's dead body. He's a fucking corpse. We killed him.
Damn, poor guy.
Yep.
Oh, shame.
Rip. And then the normal real canon ending is Heather returns. She's acting a little strange, but she basically is playing a joke on Douglas. And she talks about her calling herself Cheryl now, and asking if she's gonna go back to her hair color, and she ends up saying that blondes have more fun, which ends with her.
I like that.
I do like the ending. It's nice once you've played everything. Plus, the final shot is a photo of her visiting her father's grave, which I think is a nice little ending.
It's nice. It makes me happy.
It's a nice embracing of who she is, or something.
Yeah. Again, like this, I'm trying to see if I can link this properly, but like visually, it was definitely the most striking game. This one here, it's not gonna play it as a GIF, but like
a blood hallway.
Yeah, it's like bloody hallways where blood was rising upwards. It's like, oh, that's fucking wild and weird. Silent Hill 3 was a fun experience.
I gotta replay it.
My food is here, so I'm gonna quickly run and grab it. Do you want to start explaining Silent Hill 4, Tristan?
Oh, actually, we could take a little break for a sec. I could grab some.
Yeah,
water.
I was thinking taking a break. I need to refill my my sody pop, and also
tell you what,
after we come back, we could do a quick ad read
or
talk about the movie.
Tell you what, I think I can pause it. I think I can pause it. Yeah, I can pause it. Sweet, I can just pause the recording.
Sure.
Nice. I'm gonna pause my. Oh, wait, hold on. It's
all right.
Okay,
I'm good now. Sweet.
All right, I just resumed.
We're back.
All right, I resumed. Hello.
Yep, we are back, folks. So yeah,
break.
Silent Hill
I had to
3.
go kill some guys. Sorry, we're back.
Yeah, we had to go break some zombie horse carousel thing's legs so we can never race again.
I had to go read some fucking Shakespeare so I could proceed with the stream with the podcast.
Hell yeah. So yeah, Silent Hill 3 again, probably like the most probably the quickest one also. I think you can get that done in probably 2 hours flat, but it's really good and it's still replayable. Again, like Sexy Beam and Heather Beam kind of shit, unlockable stuff.
Yeah. Silent Hill 2
until you get. We're playing until you get the Sexy Beam, obviously.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason to play any game that doesn't have the sexy beam. I mean, come on.
Sounds like Galgun too. Oh god.
It kind of does, honestly.
That sounds like some shit you'd find in Parodius.
So yeah, Silent Hill 3 was really good, and then that led to a film adaptation.
In 2013,
Ooh.
right?
Yep.
The year of Silent Hill. That was,
Actually, I think it came out in 2012 before I.
right. 2012 was the year of Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because I think it came. Hey, let me make sure, because it came out before Downpour. Okay, it was October 2012, and Downpour was 2013.
Okay.
So yeah, I was really excited for this. I like the director. She trans individual did what is that movie called? Solomon Kane. Solomon Kane. That was really good, and I liked Solomon Kane, so I was excited. And the movie kind of sucked.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
It also had the most boring fucking subtitle too. Silent Hill Revelation.
Yeah, and it was just Revelation, not anything else, not anything past that, just Revelation.
But actually, it was Silent Hill Revelation 3D.
Oh yeah. It was embarrassing because
It was it was just one revelation. It wasn't usually it's revelations. There was, I guess, just one big revelation in the game.
it was just Revelation. The poster, everything, it was, yeah, just Revelation.
Interesting. Very unintriguing.
I mean, it was a step down in a lot of ways. I think the budget was half, admittedly. Let me make sure. But yeah, no, it came out 6 years after the first film, and the first film was pretty good all in all. You have a $20 million budget for this one. What about the first film? 1 second. Fucking Wikipedia is a pain in the ass. So 20 million for Revelation, 50 million for the first film. Yeah, holy shit.
Wow.
Jeez.
I wonder what the
50 million budget, not profit.
50 million was the budget. Profit was 100 million.
Yeah, and then basically half that for the new one, Revelation.
Yep. And Revelation, like, it was so dumb, and its characterizations were all over the place. Adelaide Clemens played Heather Mason. She did okay, best as she could.
Was it more of a writing thing, or
it was more of a writing thing. She tried her best. It was a shitty script. I'm not gonna give her too much shit for that. What I will give shit for the writer for on this one, Kit Harington is Vincent, and Vincent was all over the place. Vincent was not the weird creep that he was, the possibly priest, possibly just like side person involved with everything. No, he is a classmate of Heather's, but secretly a member of the Order, the son of Claudia, and eventual love interest for Heather.
What?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
How does Jacob Crane factor into this cool movie?
Yeah, honestly,
is,
we really need something for the Crane heads here.
You know, Crane Chads, you kind of have to. You're missing out on this one, of course.
David Crane is going to become, or whatever his fucking name is going to become like the new CIA posting, Bane posting.
Hell yeah, Crane Chads. I think we need to rise up. You know.
Yeah, it's time. It's time to rise.
We did have something for our soon-to-be Silent Hill Origins Chads. There was a Travis Grady cameo. That's something. A lot of silence for the Travis Grady heads. I respect it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't respect him like Crane.
It's reverent silence, you know.
Yeah. Oh, man. Malcolm McDowell was in this fucking movie, too, by the way.
That sucks for him.
Yeah, Malcolm McDowell, I have to respect, because he'll just be in any fucking turd.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing he was in Fallout 3, for God's sakes.
I mean,
you
to
gotta,
be fair, so was Liam Neeson.
Yeah. No, there's definitely worse things he's been in than Fallout 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna look here. He was in. He played Rupert Murdoch in a movie about Fox News in 2019, which
Oh, poor guy, poor guy. His first ever role, poor Cal. He played Billy, and all of his scenes were deleted.
oof.
It's just like Paul McGann in Alien 3. Poor guy.
Man, I'm looking here. This is the same year we did a Silent Night remake, which I forgot was a thing, but that was a fucking thing. So hey, who knows? But yeah, Silent Revelation was all over the fucking place. Um, none of the plot threads that they kind of set up in the first film were truly followed. It was fucking weird, you know.
I mean,
Mm.
when did the original come out? 2006.
2006. It was about like 6 years later. They could have followed up with a lot of that shit, and they brought back Sean Bean as.
Maybe they just forgot.
I think this script was all over the place. Like the script was a clusterfuck. They've shot most of what is now titled Return to Silent Hill. So
Oh God, it's like Welcome to Raccoon City.
Yeah.
I hope it's not that bad.
It would be nice if it wasn't. Yeah.
Again, as a Silent Hill fan, I want this shit to be good. That's all I've ever wanted. I don't get what I want often.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Thanks, Konami.
So I think we'll talk about The Room real quick. Silent Hill 4.
Oh yeah, I love The Room. Room best movie. Taught me like
hi.
soul.
I love
Hi, Henry. Honestly,
So,
if you consider Walter Sullivan throughout this whole game to just be Tommy Wiseau, this game becomes a different kind of better.
Honestly, just change his hair color.
Pretty much.
Change his hair color. Maybe uncircumcise his penis. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't know.
gonna
I
have
don't
to
know
get into
Tommy's
that.
fucking. Oh boy.
As an outsider to the series, I always thought I've mentioned before. I always thought 4 was the most interesting one because I like stuff that's like set in one place or whatever, and then it's
Yeah.
set in one place, but it's got like doorways into other dimensions and stuff. It seems unusual. I know it's like the odd black sheep of the series or whatever, you know.
But see,
A lot of stupid people don't like it.
Yeah, this is one that if they were ever to adapt it, I think that this would work as a TV series.
Yeah, actually.
Which we'll talk about the concepts behind it real quick. So the plot takes place. You play as a guy named Henry Townsend, who, and I don't think I'm saying anything controversial here, has no character.
Yeah,
He's a character for you to push yourself on.
He is Man McDoodson, and
Yeah.
he is here to be a blank wall for you to project whatever movie you want onto it, you know?
But he helps us, like he does what he needs to in the story, which I respect. So we play as Henry Townsend. He lives in apartment room 302, where one day he wakes up and, apropos of nothing, the door is locked from the inside by 5 padlocks. There's a note saying, "Don't go out," by someone named Walter.
There's also a bunch of chains as well.
That too, yes. That door is not coming unsealed by your puny ass hands, and there's nothing that can cut that off in your apartment. So you're kind of trapped.
Maybe except some like a circumcision kit.
Exactly, of course.
When do we get into that? Honestly.
Oh, let's just keep teasing it until we eventually get to it.
We'll save it for one of the endings. I won't mention what ending, but we'll just start talking about the Silent Hill circumcision thing during one of the endings. There's like 6 of them. We got time. So yeah, your next door neighbor, like your superintendent, can't even get in. They try knocking on your doors, seeing if you're even fucking home. But one day, randomly, a hole opens up in his bathroom, and usually a bathroom hole typically is not something you want to try climbing into. Usually that's leading to your septic. Just saying.
But I mean, when your door's locked, you know, you don't have that many options.
So, I mean, yeah, when you're not getting that much hole, you gotta, it's a glory hole. That's what it is. Yeah.
It's meant specifically for glory.
I mean, it's Silent Hill's form of glory.
Fair.
I'm going to hell for that one. But yeah, as we start to learn, that people are dying every time we go through these portals. We're led to different people we meet, like one of my favorites, Cynthia Velasquez, who is a very friendly lady who you meet in a otherworld subway station, who offers you sex when you first meet her, and then she dies because you're being hunted by a killer who is trying to finish a ritual, essentially.
A ritual to grow back his foreskin.
Yes. Well, birth his mother through regrowing his foreskin. And this is the ritual of the 21 sacraments. And by that, he has to kill 21 people. And it just happens to... Again, we're kind of going to the summaries now a little bit, if you're noticing. I'm trying to speed this up, because we might be here all night if I don't.
That's fine.
But the 21 sacraments ritual is... Walter Sullivan has to kill 21 people. And he's already killed about 16 by the time we get to the plot of the game. The first 10 were people that he cut out their hearts, and then because he did that, he was able to kill himself as the 11th victim, and then still be able to kill people. Which, admittedly, is kind of fucking cool.
Yeah. I mean, I would. It would be cool if I could just
like if you could just
kill
become
people
a ghost
from beyond the grave. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I'm talking like it's kind of badass, but you can, one, sacrifice yourself to basically up your own body count, which should be cheating. Okay, that should not be classified.
Yeah, I think that's banned in tournament play.
Yeah, it would not be looked upon in any actual pro scene. Walter Sullivan is a fake gamer. That's really what we've been trying to say.
No ethics.
All real gamers have their full foreskin, sadly.
Yeah, of course. Oh, Christ, I cannot wait to talk about that. So yeah, he so we start to see 16 through 19 come. As it turns out, we're number 21.
Oh wow.
Yep. So
it really sucks to be Guy McJohnson.
Like Dude McGuyerson, yeah. So as it also turns out, number 20 happens to be our next door neighbor Eileen, and to keep it a long story short, the rest of the plot takes place in the I don't know how to describe it in a way that makes sense here. The rest of the plot takes place through other dimensions where you're trying to protect Eileen, because one, your role in this sacrament thing is to be the one to witness her death before you die. So you have to stop her from dying no matter what. So you can't really cheat the system and jump ahead. Kind of one of those, classification rules when it comes to a ritual.
Mm.
It's like you can't buy a box of bones. You actually have to kill people for the bones. It's not really about the ritual. It's about the sacrifice, yada, yada, yada. That kind of shit. We've all sacrificed people before. Come on. Yeah, of course.
So
yeah, that's just a normal Tuesday for me.
Yeah.
This is not in Silent Hill then. This
actually takes place mostly out of Silent Hill.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's Silent Hill Otherworlds, but
what are the connections to the other games? Is there does that come later? Or...
Well, Walter Sullivan was mentioned in Silent Hill 2.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually mentioned that last time.
Oh yeah, we did. But
there's a newspaper in the apartment buildings. After you clear a blockage in the trash chute.
Yeah, because you're trying to get like a key.
So it actually specifically mentions the twins.
Oh yeah. Which they become one of the creepiest fucking characters in. Honestly,
freaky.
let me see if I can find them. They're called the Twin Victims. And they look like conjoined twins, and they're fucking horrifying. Let me see if I can find it here. Where's it at?
Would this be like Silent Hill 3's Pyramid Head?
Not necessarily.
Does Silent Hill 3 have a Pyramid Head?
3 has Valtail, but he's not in like a Punisher role like Pyramid Head. It's weirdly a more protective role, but this is a twin victim. This is one of my favorite weird fucking monsters to fight.
That's pretty neat, yeah.
Definitely. This is Masahiro Ito's favorite Silent Hill monster he didn't design, by the way.
Yeah, honestly, I get it.
It's fucking wild. But yeah, no, we start to we meet some characters along the way, including a young version of Walter Sullivan who isn't malicious at all and is just kind of like a weird kid.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm skipping a lot of the plot on this one, but
so these are like hypothetical side hypothetical side universes or something like that, or are these like, is this time travel?
What it is it's Walter's using his influence on the other world to manifest worlds. Essentially, think of these like pocket dimensions.
Right, yeah, okay.
It's kind of like the best way I describe it is he's using what Silent Hill already does to his own advantage.
He's gaming the system. He's being a real gamer, as close as he can be.
Unlike that Walter guy, yeah.
Yeah. So, the end of the game, but funny enough, this game does have a lot of symbolism about missing things from when you're a childhood, but that's from an umbilical cord, not from a foreskin. You'd think with everything Silent Hill related, we would get a foreskin in this game.
Well, you'd think with everything foreskin related, obviously, in this game, that would be part of it, but no, they keep it subtle enough,
But, so, the umbilical cord of Walter Sullivan is a really, really important plot point. You have to plant the umbilical cord into the corpse of him, so that way you can get, because his corpse is there alongside his ghost. It's weird. But you have to put it inside his corpse to get the spears to kill him. And during the final battle also, Eileen is walking towards this giant spear that if you do not finish what needs to be done in time, it will kill her. It's like, genuinely, she will die.
Yeah.
Its endings are escape, where by basically having finished Walter off, you end up basically getting out of there. Eileen is heavily injured, but she gets to go into a normal hospital and all that. Mother, which we're going to talk about the foreskin one now. So Silent Hill foreskins.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll talk about the others later, but
in 2015,
yes,
there was a bit of a kerfuffle on the Silent Hill wiki from a user by the name of
Alex Shepard. I remember this
Alex Shepard. Yes. So he started editing the Silent Hill 4 wiki pages, like everything that's like related to it.
Yeah.
With saying that everything is like symbolism for circumcision.
Yeah, wasn't it always like, it might be, like, I'm not saying it is, but it could. It was always.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
When he's called out on it, he says that the person calling him out on it, just for saying like, yeah, maybe this isn't, a circumcision thing. He like when someone says that to him, he says, and I quote, "You're a fucking horrible human being for advocating genital mutilation, and 99% of Americans who advocate mutilating penises are fucking brainwashed morons. Circumcision can have a huge effect and huge influence on the development of a human being's psyche. It is the truth." I'm not gonna continue this.
I mean, circumcision is 10 times worse than Modern Family Guy, I would say. maybe even more.
When are we getting Dogs Eating Dogs 6 on this podcast?
I'm trying to see if I can find the original edit.
I don't have the edit, but I do have the talk page for it.
Well, what I have here is so I've got a post from New York Mag from 2015. This somebody actually wrote this fucking article. Holy shit!
I got one from Bloody Disgusting.
I kind of followed links there, but the obsessive administrator of a wiki site dedicated to the video game horror franchise Silent Hill, so devoted to site he's made 40,000 edits. Apparently, he just went mad with power this week and decided Silent Hill isn't about a spooky hospital. It's actually, this person writing this also doesn't know what Silent Hill is. But...
Yeah, read this one from Bloody Disgusting. It's probably going to be a little bit more accurate.
One second. Let me pull that up. Okay.
Read the headline as well.
Yes, editorials. The Silent Hill Wiki has a circumcision problem.
That's a great title.
It's great. Yeah, that right there, that's a good headline. It's just about the strangest thing I've ever written, but it's an accurate representation of a journey that you or I are about to embark on. Don't you dare close this tab, there's no turning back now. Strange things are afoot at the Silent Hill Wiki. It has everything to do with one of the site's own administrators, Alex Shepard, an admin with more than 40,000 contributions made over the span of 6 years. Has dedicated a considerable portion of his time to help build the comprehensive database of information for other survival horror games, including Clock Tower, Rule of Rose, and Parasite Eve, among others. Now Alex Shepard is all about protecting those babies' penises. It all started when someone spotted a 800-word diatribe on the topic of male genital mutilation nestled in a character bio, posted by you-know-who. It wasn't until the irreverent rant was deleted that he chose to have a rather spectacular implosion. You're a fucking horrible human being for advocating genital mutilation, and 99% of Americans who advocate for mutilating penises are fucking brainwashed morons, wrote Alex Shepard in his response to an anonymous user who edited his post. Circumcision can have a huge effect and huge influence on the development of a human being's psyche. It's the truth. What you're trying to do is erase American history and hide the truth. Seriously, don't be on the wrong side of history. It's like trying to delete the Holocaust article on Wikipedia, saying it's some anti-Holocaust or anti-Nazi rant. That's how brainwashed you sound.
Jesus.
When the Holocaust comes up in an argument... Sorry, go on.
So, for the people who want to know a lot more about this... I really recommend watching Wang's video on it. And it sucks that we couldn't have him on for this.
Yeah, he's got the premiere situation.
I will recommend that video just in general because.
Yeah, that's how I learned about not only this whole thing, but actually Wang in general. I just saw that and I was like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah, the guy, it's a guy on a power trip, and he has the smallest ability of I run the Silent Hill wiki. And I mean, I wonder if that's actually a thing that he was passionate about the plot of Silent Hill 4 in regards to that, or if it's more I'm using this to spread my message about circumcision.
Yeah, this dude is fucking nuts.
I feel like he genuinely believes this stuff. It's just
it can be both. It could be both.
Yeah.
This is his response when people were asking for an apology. He said, "Truth is, America is actually a very Satanist nation, and I will not delete this truth because it may hurt. This is what Silent Hill's about. America falling into the hands of Satan and dark forces and evil. You are all ignoring the elephant in the room. Want proof? In 10 days, most of you will celebrate this so-called Christmas. But it's actually Satan, as if you do the research, you will see that you're all the puppets of..." That's what he said.
Satanmus.
Yep. You are all slaves to bills, greed, money, and slave jobs, which are contributing to the death and destruction. Well, I mean, okay, he's kind of right.
Yeah. Worst person just made a great point.
Yeah, it's like, okay, one decent point, but you think you are Christian, you think you're following the word of God, but you are actually Satanists. You are all being severely brainwashed and mind-controlled to believe that mutilating and torturing babies is fine.
God damn it, I accidentally worshipped Satan again. I can't believe this shit.
Third time this week.
Yeah.
Womp womp. But yeah, no, Silent Hill 4's endings are really good. I'll just say this. The best ending is one where you fail and the 21 sacraments happen.
Nice.
Yes. Now with that,
good. I was like a good bad ending, you know? That's cool.
I like a good bad ending. I like one where you fuck up and it's actually like a total fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I wish I hadn't done this, but it's cool to see you did this.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, after this is when Team Silent would be disbanded because Konami hates everything good.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They're really good at just not being good.
They like just pissing people off, it seems.
Yeah, they're really good at being like the worst.
Well, I mean, Team Silent was basically always like under the gun and pushing
Yeah.
against the fucking current, so I guess it makes sense that they finally just cut their ties with them.
Well, see what seemingly at least I've parsed together from like reading interviews and shit. At the time, Konami was also going to work on essentially a Grand Theft Auto killer, and a lot of the dev team that was working on. Yep. Oh yeah. It gets even funnier.
Oh,
So that's why the
I
entire team
love the
just
hubris of companies like this. Holy
yeah.
shit.
So Masahiro Ito at one point worked on a essentially Grand Theft Auto killer. Think about that. That's weird to think about.
I hope he had fun.
I
He
hope they
didn't.
did too.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, once that was in development for I believe about 2 years, and they thought they couldn't get anything out of it, they canceled it, and
Surprise.
that was in between the development of the Ascend 3 and then like most of the way through 4. So yep.
They really thought they could make a GTA killer.
Yeah, apparently we got to a
Oh,
point
Why
with
would
it in
they
shit.
development,
even...
and then they canceled it.
So this was a Silent Hill GTA game?
No, this was going to be like a different. Well, essentially, they took
But they were gonna take that
yeah,
team,
they took
basically.
basically like their best talent and was like, hey, you guys are talented. You can make a Grand Theft Auto game.
I
And
mean,
everyone stared at them blankly and was like,
weren't they like forced to make Silent Hill to begin with or something?
what?
Like, wasn't there something like that?
So Silent Hill 1's development was Konami reacting again in a way to something that was a competitor for them, which was Resident Evil. Resident Evil 1 took off like hotcakes back in the day. Like it
Yeah.
was something
Yeah.
completely new and completely different for a lot of people, and it was successful. And then not Resident Evil 2 was successful, so they decided, okay, fuck, there's something here. We got to make something. We got to make a competitor. And what they did was they took all the people that they were, like they thought weren't performing well or that they didn't get along with. They're just like, look, here's a goal. Make a Resident Evil like competitor. And they
And
weren't
they did it.
they didn't have a lot of oversight, which is why they got to do a lot of weird shit.
Okay.
The best things in life are made when there's no oversight.
Yeah.
At least when it comes to like a corporate oversight.
It's a shame Konami hasn't learned that lesson.
I'm hoping they do. But we're gonna talk about that.
But they
Um,
decide they want a new Resident or new Silent Hill game, and
and then
they
they've disbanded everyone, so they decide outreach, and we got Silent Hill Origins out of that first, which
Hooray.
well I'll talk about Silent Hill Origins real quick because it originally had a different version that was more of a like a Resident Evil 4 type shooter for the PSP. I have played that
Okay.
build and it plays okay. I'm glad we didn't get it.
Fair.
Um,
Fair.
the Silent Hill Origins we got was a lot more faithful to the first few games. It was like fixed cameras. The one we would have gotten from I believe it was Climax LA would have been really bad for as a Silent Hill game. It would have been a fine game. It was not what we needed as a Silent Hill game.
Yeah.
Origins is all over the place, and I don't really want to spend too much time on it. It's fine.
It
what
is-
exactly is it?
It's surprisingly mediocre. It's like a
Yeah.
prequel. To the
It's
first
it's
one.
set it's set 7 years before Silent Hill 1, and you play Travis Grady, who is a truck driver. Again, Travis Grady stands. I know you're here somewhere.
The Grady heads.
Yeah,
Yes.
Grady stands. Grady stands.
No, they're
Um,
Grady heads.
fair enough. Um,
Brady boys.
ooh, fuck, that's actually pretty good. But to get back on topic, you play as a truck driver, and similar thing happens in the first game. A girl runs out in front of you. You stop your car, and you end up going to save a little girl from a fire, and that girl ends up being Alessa.
Oh,
Um,
great.
yeah, it recontextualizes a bunch of things for a first game. Admittedly, some of it I think it does pretty well. Some of it doesn't. It's a clusterfuck, but the best part about it is you can carry 40 TVs in your pocket and throw them at fucking creatures.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they did not. They wanted to have these like destructible weapons, but they didn't cap you on how many you could have, so you could just collect everything. This is when the
Nice.
series became a little more combat focused and a little more dumb.
Yeah, well, it was it was that part of the generation where everything had to get more action movie intense, boulder punch, fucking quick time event kind of shit. So, that makes sense. They
Yeah.
started focusing on like the melee combat systems and all that.
That's I mean, I'm definitely biased against melee systems where there shouldn't be, because that basically ruined Resident Evil 6.
Yep. Well, Resident Evil 6 has got a lot of different problems, but
Yeah, but like the reason that it has like so little ammo but so many enemies is because they wanted you to focus on the melee system.
yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, Silent Hill 2 painfully mediocre.
Yeah.
Silent Hill 2.
Origins.
Oh, yes. I just
That's a great quote, Tristan. Wow.
listen, I'm tired. I'm fucking tired right
That's
now,
staying
okay?
in.
There.
Fine. I will clarify though that I meant Silent Hill Origins.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'm very tired and I'm working on a silly shit post.
So was Origins like the height of post Team Silent stuff?
In sort of, it's all over the
That's the same.
place.
It depends on what you like.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the ones where people are gonna shit on me for it in a minute, but
It's definitely the best original, in my
yes.
opinion.
Okay.
Then we got. I'll put this on here. We got Homecoming afterwards, which I'll sum up the story super fast. You are told you're a soldier at the beginning of the game. You're not actually a soldier. It turns out that you killed your little brother, and it turns out that the parents of the town have a little pact with a cult to keep the spooky shit out of their town, but to do that, they've got to kill a kid every 50 years.
Oh,
At least like
well,
one kid from each family of the main
you know,
families.
sucks to suck.
Yeah, like one dead
Yeah,
child.
L for that kid.
Yeah, it's fine. The plot of the game is you supposedly come back from war. Turns out you've just been in a mental hospital this entire time.
I mean, they're basically the same thing.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, it was Iraq, so it's pretty much the same thing. But we the plot of the game relies on trying to figure out why the fog is especially back now. It turns out that the sacrifice was done poorly because one of the kids didn't get sacrificed because, hey, you accidentally killed your brother, and it turns out you were supposed to be the sacrifice. That's kind of a plot of Homecoming. I'm summing this one up because it sucks.
I mean, it kind of sounds like a Silent Hill game based on what you say, but
It
not
hits the
necessarily a good
core.
one.
It hits the core like marks of the Silent Hill game, but it does it very poorly.
Yeah, it doesn't have the depth.
It's kind of like if somebody who had like a frontal lobotomy was trying to tell you the plot of a game.
So basically, if I was the one heading this heading this hyperfixation.
Oh, hey.
Listen, I just said that Silent Hill 2 was mediocre. I
you
accidentally said that.
Look, we can edit that for the remake and just say you're like calling your shot ahead of time.
Yes, actually, that is I'm retconning that.
Yes, of
Oh,
course.
good, yeah.
It could be
Because
totally
the remake
mediocre.
probably will be mediocre, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
So yeah, Homecoming fucking blows my balls, but Shattered Memories. Shattered Memories is really, really good. It is. It's good because it's weird and different. It is
Yeah.
a readaptation of the first game. The core beats are you play as Harry Mason. You're trying to find your daughter, and you're going through the town of Silent Hill. That's the core beats. Everything else is weird and different and kind of experimental. And all in all, it's a weird good time. If you have a Wii, you would be doing yourself a disservice not to play it.
Or a PSP or a PS2. They
True.
basically ported it to the like most of the stuff that was on the Wii was ported to PS2 at the very
Although
least.
in this sense, I will recommend the Wii version because they did a lot of the motion controls and the little
Okay.
speaker and everything. Because you got your phone and you can make phone calls, and the phone calls will come through the speaker, including if you decide to. Okay, tell
I
you what.
really like
Yeah, go on.
I really like this detail.
It's
So
a really good detail.
if you use your phone in the game to call the Konami support line,
Yeah,
it will say, "Oh, you're calling from Silent Hill. Sorry, buddy, I can't fucking help you."
yeah. Not even we can help you here. Which it's clever. That harkens
Fun
back.
little.
It harkens back to like the codec calls on the back of the box. You know,
Oh
it's
yeah.
clever. Honest to God, I do miss when games would just be fucking clever like that. Where it's like,
Yeah, like
if you didn't
I
know that feature was there, you would have never known to do that in that game.
the best I really do I'm going on a tangent here, but I recently replayed a bit of Metal Gear Solid 1, and I keep forgetting that you find Meryl's fucking codec from the back of the fucking CD case. And I was playing the PC version on good old games. You
Yeah,
know, I definitely bought it.
of course.
And like I really like that every single release of the game has that somewhere. Like if you go to Metal Gear Solid the collection on I actually don't know this, but I'm just guessing. If you go to the Metal Gear Solid collection,
Yeah.
let me actually
Well,
go to
what they
it.
have is if they also do have the whole manual and box art in the game for the new
Metal Gear
collection.
Solid collection. If you go to Metal Gear Solid 1, and I'm gonna look really stupid if this is
I'm gonna check it on
where
PlayStation real quick too, real quick.
Metal Gear Solid Master Collection version. If you check the screenshots, yeah, yeah, here it is. Oh, I love it. So at every of the store pages of the digital versions and the back of the CD case in the PS1 version, and funnily enough, on the PlayStation Classic, the back of the PlayStation Classic box,
Yep.
that's how you find out Meryl's codec number. And right here, if you look on the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection version on Steam, you get the very last screenshot. It's a codec call with Meryl. I really like that they just keep that detail up.
Yeah, because it's clever. It makes you realize shit. I wish more games had that.
Yeah, it's really good.
But yeah, Shattered Memories. It's a weird fucking experience. It's got multiple endings. All of them are fitting depending on what you've done in the game. I think.
Yeah, because it does that thing where it like psychoanalyzes you,
Yep.
Oh, that's neat.
One of
like where
the
you take a quiz.
one of the earliest things is it asks you to color a house, and during an event in the game, you'll end up going towards a house, and it's the same color that you painted it.
Interesting.
Yep, it's pretty interesting. There
It it,
is
it, it also
Yeah,
there are other games that do it, and sadly, I don't think it's ever really that subtle. But like like
yeah,
Until Dawn, they'll ask you, "Oh, what's scarier, clowns or zombies?" And then it'll like put that in the game,
yeah.
and that's
Admittedly,
that's incredibly unsubtle.
admittedly, it's kind of unsubtle here too, but
Yeah.
it's funny and it's a little charming, I think.
Never that subtle, of course. I mean that in like a general sense.
Yeah. This is like the last game that Climax worked with for the Silent Hill series. Um, Climax's two games were Origins and Shattered Memories, and I think by a lot of people they what they consider the better ones, you know,
Sadly,
out of the later games.
sadly, we live in a world where the Silent Hill Origins and Silent Hill Shattered Memories are just kind of all right.
Yeah.
In relation to the rest of the Silent Hill games.
um, God, let's see. There's a few more that are just a little rough because we got Downpour, which
Yeah,
Downpour is weird because it's like I like a lot of the ideas in Downpour gameplay wise.
yeah, it's a decent game. It's just not a good Silent Hill game.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard that it's got some interesting stuff in it, and but then it's also the one that again focused really hard on having like a cool epic combat system with
Yeah, it has a
fun dodge.
take a shot. It has a fucking mid 2010s melee system. So
It does,
early
but the
2010s.
one thing I will give it is that it kind of does what Origins tried to do, but better. Where
Yeah,
it is the weapons are breakable, but you only have like you can't carry an infinite amount of fucking TVs. You have one
yeah,
weapon and maybe a gun
sadly.
if you find it. So, like if you want to pick up another weapon, you have to actually like drop the weapon, grab another weapon.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, if you take it as for what it is, and not for like as a Silent Hill game, it might be considered a lot better. I know it
Yeah.
was like really buggy at launch too.
I do
Yeah,
remember that.
it was a rough nightmare. Um, then we have
Oh no,
I didn't
oh
mention these
no.
earlier. Yes.
On Twitter, under arts and culture, Shad is trending.
Oh no.
Uh,
I'm
I don't
oh
want to know why
boy,
on that one.
Country of Chad.
Shad,
SHAD.
SHAD.
Oh,
So that could be one of two
Oh,
people.
Shadman or the other one.
Yeah,
both of them are
fucking
not good.
Richard Shad or something like that. Shad Johnson.
So
Sorry, I just kind of saw that.
you're good. I guess here we'll talk about the HD collection real quick because we didn't fully talk about
Yes.
it before.
Ah, yes.
So yeah, I bought this day one.
I think I said this before, but it was my first time playing through Silent Hill 2 and 3.
See, here's the thing: if it had been, if it had at least like worked half the time, it could have been like a begrudging acceptance, like a begrudging
Yeah.
recommendation. The only way I'll recommend it now is if you buy it either one incredibly used or don't buy it at all.
Yeah.
Two,
Essentially,
yeah,
if you want to play Silent Hill 2 or 3, your options are PC port with mods,
yeah,
emulate it. Those are like the two number ones. And then like way down here, well actually the Xbox port of 2 is good.
yeah,
And then like way down here there's like the HD collection. Like way down the list. That's like
yeah,
if you don't have a PC at all, if you don't have a PS2, if you don't have an original Xbox, if you only have like an Xbox 360 or a PS3,
Well, even if you have a 360, you can still
sure.
play two,
Yeah,
two and
yeah,
four.
actually. Yeah, 2 and 4. You
Um,
just can't if you just have a PS3 that doesn't have the backwards compatibility. Wow, it sucks to be you. Wow, it
yeah,
sucks to be you. I am so sorry.
it's rough. Um, so essentially, the Silent Hill HD collection was two ports with essentially unfinished code, and the reason that was
Yeah.
is if you know anything about game development, old code takes a lot of data, and what they would used to do is clear data to save room.
Yep.
And
The source codes
Classic
for
Square
several.
Enix situation. Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of
the source
Japanese
codes.
devs at that time. Yeah.
yep,
Yeah, the source codes for several games are just gone.
You have to think
Like
a
that's
lot of development was this thing is over. Let's go do the next thing.
yeah. There was not really much of a porting deal back then, and even if they did, they would probably just emulate it
Yeah,
because that was when it was starting to get like big.
and now you'd be stupid to get rid of your code
Yeah,
because
honestly,
that code
because
can
like
last for decades and
yeah,
decades and
that
decades.
that's that's the reason that like we have so many ports to new consoles of
Yeah,
just like even DMC Devil May Cry got a port,
yeah, and it got a port that
and
was
it's
actually really good for what
well
it
the
was for
port's
the
good.
game.
The port's
You know what
good.
I mean.
Yeah,
It's like they
Oh,
made the game
apparently
60. They
yeah, they gave it
yeah
60, which is always a good plus,
the definitive
especially for
edition of that is apparently considerably better, but it's also still
yeah,
yeah,
it's still
it's still
DMC at the
very
core.
DMC Devil May Cry. Color coded enemies and all that bullshit.
It would be a good starter game if it also didn't kind of suck.
Mm, it would be a good starter game if Devil May Cry 3 and 5 didn't exist.
Very true. Um,
You keep getting sidetracked.
yeah, hey, it's fun.
But
So
like
They're good.
source codes, it wasn't around.
yeah, they
The
had
only
to.
one was like they had. I think they found like a disc.
Yeah, they found the beta builds, which I mean, good they had those because otherwise, this thing for the company that was working on it, it never would have happened. They wouldn't have got paid. But
Yeah, hijinks. I don't. I really don't envy. Oh, Claw, you just asked the $1 million question.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah, I know.
DMC hyperfixation.
oh 100%.
I would have to replay them, like all of them, but I'm down. I'm absolutely down.
I
Yep.
haven't like played through a whole like I haven't finished any of them, but I played them all.
Five
Well,
is
except for
five
two.
is so
Like,
good. You should play 2 if you have it. Just
oh yeah, I've seen it
it's
played.
so easy. Just run through it. It's
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
just shoot everything. I know but it's
that's the
also really
thing.
boring.
It gets really good at the final boss,
it
and
really
it's
does.
insane because the final boss is actually like one of the better bosses in like the series.
I mean,
Anyway,
yeah.
we keep getting sidetracked. Fuck.
So yeah,
Enough
But like
yapping.
yeah,
I'm
I don't
warped.
I don't envy Hijinks Studio at all.
yeah,
Yeah.
they were tasked with a fucking uphill battle of uphill battles, and then they did the redub, which Konami
Yeah,
wise,
that was a bad move.
I get why they wanted to do it Konami wise, because like voice actors are weird and kind of annoying to deal with on their end, but they should have just got everyone's voice acting back and brought it back.
Yeah, honestly, because they did that for 2. I don't know why they wouldn't do it for
Well,
3.
for 2, they kind of did that with a backlash, and also apparently from 3, they couldn't find everyone to get them to sign a contract again.
Uh-huh.
So
Hmm.
that kind of plus one of the actor who played Douglas died before the game released back in the day. So that's
Well, you could you could-
you get
you could at the
family.
very least like get his estate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they should have. They should have.
Yeah, I mean they had kind of an uphill battle with that. They probably did the best that they could, but I don't know. It also makes you wonder, couldn't they? I guess at that point in time, it wouldn't have been possible to just like straight up emulate them on the PS3 and 360. So,
Yeah, you
but
could probably
yeah,
done
it
that on
probably is.
PS3, but still, it's like
Yeah, PS3 because yeah, they are. Well, there was Silent 2. What was Silent Hill 3 on the Xbox? Because
it
2
was
was.
not.
3 was not on the
It was
Xbox.
just 2 and
Although
4.
that's the thing, they could have just done 2 and 4 on the Xbox and 2 and 3 on the the thing, the PlayStation 3.
PS3,
The thing.
yeah.
Like they could have
Yeah.
done that. It would have probably been better received a little bit because like at that time Xbox was going, it was riding pretty high, and even like things that were actively kind of bad for them
It
like
was not
we were
Xbox
just
One
kind of
level
like
bad.
yeah, we were just kind of like like it's a shame, but what can you do? Like getting slightly off topic yet again. Back when Resident Evil 6 released, they did like this anthology thing for like a pre-order bonus.
Oh
And
yeah.
For Resident Evil 6 on the Xbox, you got Resident Evil 4 HD, Resident Evil Code Veronica HD, and like some of the movies, like the CG movies. For PS3, you got Resident Evil 1, the original, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4 HD, and I think they left out Code Veronica HD.
Yeah.
And also like one of the movies.
I mean, some of those movies were okay. Some of them were a little iffy, but
I like the CG movies. We should definitely save discussion for that for the Resident Evil
That's a whole
hyperfixation.
other thing, yeah.
So
I could yap about Resident Evil.
to kind of skip through a little bit more when it comes to the HD collection, there was some where it just was, like they just repeat the same shit, like this one here from the manual where it's defeat enemies and solve puzzles. You progress deeper and deeper into the story. Twice. Of like description for both games.
Oh no, I didn't even know that. I got it digitally.
Or my favorite, the fact that sometimes teeth textures will bug into the eyes.
I didn't see that on my playthrough.
See, here's the thing. I think that's creepier.
Because I knew to look for that.
I think it's creepier.
Yeah, fair.
Like,
but also, you know, that's
probably
rough.
not on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, once you know all the shit they had to deal with and put up with, yeah, respect. They had a shit time, but
yeah, it's Konami's fault, not Hijink's fault.
Yeah, it's Konami fucking did everything. Also, the voice cast is 90% of everyone you know. Troy Baker, Travis Willingham, Liam O'Brien, Amanda Lynn Lee.
Did they get Nolan North?
They didn't get Nolan North, but they got Troy Baker to do James.
Yeah. Troy Baker is basically just different Nolan North.
I mean, Troy Baker has two different kinds of roles. It's one where he's doing himself, and then one where he's doing any other voice possible. Because he literally just does mostly himself. I like him, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it mostly just sounds like him. Yuri Lowenthal's one of the worst offenders for that.
Yeah, especially like a good Spider-Man.
I mean, you can tell like when he plays like lighthearted Spider-Man in one of the cartoons versus like the black suit stuff.
Oh yeah, especially in the new game, especially.
It's also like you don't think about it, but he is essentially just playing this, like has the same. It doesn't do anything different with his voice than Yosuke in Persona 4.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like, yeah, no, do an accent or something, buddy. Come
on. But yeah, to get to the next one here, because we've hit all the main ones. We touched on Downpour a tiny bit, which I don't really have much to say about Downpour other than it's fine. But we haven't talked about our favorite Silent Hill adaptations, the Pachinko machines.
Woo! Let's go!
Whoop, whoop.
Well, as a not a big Silent Hill guy, like for me the Castlevania ones that advertised sexual violence or whatever were the height of the slap in the face for me. I don't know if the Silent Hill was that bad.
It's pretty rough because you got to think this came out right as like the PT announcements, because we haven't talked about PT yet, but we'll talk about that. And this just comes out blazing as, yep, this is the future of Silent Hill.
Oh god, like, what a horror! That is your Silent Hill, yeah.
Yeah, it's, for all the weirdness with Ascension so far, I'll take that over this. Which, admittedly,
hit the lever.
That's not the only Silent Hill pachinko or like slot machine.
Yeah, they did one that was like heavily based on Silent Hill 2.
Well, that's the one that is the original one is the one that's based on Silent Hill 2. Now we also got a double up. We got Silent Hill Escape and Silent Hill Return in 2019.
Why would you return?
Good question. So
you return to get more money.
This one's interesting. Escape is essentially a slot machine that is also Silent Hill Downpour.
Right.
Now, see, here's the thing.
Are there any upsides?
Apparently these are in America, so we could go to these.
Oh, okay, hold
Wow. So they're
So
like
on.
translated, or are they like just available in
I
America?
think these are actually translated because.
Oh, good God.
But here's the thing.
I mean, they might as well just have a fucking Contra video poker machine. What the fuck?
The footage of what you see as the gameplay between the slots is not great. This is supposedly the Silent Hill 3 one that I'm sending you guys.
Who is this fucker in the gas mask?
Okay, the fucker in the gas mask is actually from Silent Hill Downpour.
Shit looks like Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City in here. What the fuck?
So I'm sending you all currently screenshots from Escape. Yeah, apparently Konami renewed trademark in the United States and Canada, and these are apparently. And I've been to the casino and I've never seen these, so that's something. So hey, my
So
local
Yeah,
casino
apparently,
doesn't have
I
them.
mean, that's pretty horrifying.
apparently, as of 2 years ago, there are machines on the Las Vegas Strip.
Wow.
So,
I mean, is it just Silent Hill? Do they have like the Metal Gear one?
I
I don't
I
think
think
that.
they do have a Metal Gear one. I don't know.
Yeah, it was based on Snake Eater.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I know there is. I just wonder if it's in the States yet.
not yet, as far as I know.
That's a shame.
Um,
Well, not really a shame, but I mean,
Yeah.
so that
be
leads
kind
us
of cool.
to finally the last main thing I really want to talk. We could talk about Silent Hill F maybe and Downfall or Townfall. God damn it! But I think this is the last one we really should talk about. PT.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, this hurts me.
I think it hurts
Yeah.
everybody, yeah.
We were like this was like
It was
a
2014.
yeah, it was a little bit after, no, a little bit before all of us met.
Yeah, this was like right about that time. Yeah. Um. So BT was this weird thing that was just released on the PlayStation Store. It was teased during a Gamescom thing, and
Yeah, initially no one knew what it was, and it was like, "Oh, what's this scary new like silly thing?"
yeah, and it turns
And
out that once you solved this weird looping hallway puzzle, it turns out it was a teaser for a Hideo Kojima directed, Guillermo del Toro possibly directing and writing in a way, but uh, starring Norman Reedus. Later found out Junji Ito would be a part of it. Thing,
also,
yeah,
yeah, you're right.
yeah, it would have been like this interesting game that we have no idea what it could have been, like really could have been, but it could have been fucking awesome. We could have had Kojima Silent Hill.
Yeah, due to be
Yeah,
called Silent Hills, which
Yep.
not the best name,
Well,
but I
mm,
mean,
I mean, I have a theory on what the S would have meant because I feel like it did
really,
have a meaning.
multiverse.
Uh,
Multiverse.
unironically, kind of.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what I assumed the plot of
Yeah.
4 was on, like, just not knowing, like, oh, it's like you're going into something, something Silent Hill. Like, something magical Silent Hill related,
Yeah.
whatever.
That's why I
But,
think that if we would have gotten this, PT would have been so fucking clever because it's setting you up in essentially a time loop. You're going back and forth through this hallway over and over. And
yeah,
the hallway shifts next. Like one time you go in it, it could be a different thing. It could be a different design depending on the loop.
I mean, there was a great video recently, the one from Cat Icarus, talking about, like,
yes,
viral horror games, and he talked about PT, and
Yep.
the point that he made was how, yeah, you can't download it, you can't even, like, reinstall it again if you had it before.
and
And
they'll do everything in their fucking power to get it off of your PS4 too.
See,
yeah,
here's the
he
thing.
even showed a
There is a way to do it. You just have to fuck with something, and it's
you
tricky.
probably have to like disconnect it from the internet or something, but there was a shot he showed of like we have detected unlicensed content disconnecting in 5 minutes or something.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, they don't even, and he's just like, yeah, this provides like a very spooky ARG lost media, lost game kind of element to it that kind of heightens its spookiness.
As oh shit, sorry for the on there. It's a wild experience that if you do have the chance to still, I will recommend for anyone who is listening, give PT a shot if you can somehow. If you get a chance to mod your PlayStation 4, do it.
Yeah, honestly, like that's that's the sad thing. Anybody who wants to try this out probably already has.
True. And it's going to
And
be real
if they
hard for
haven't,
anyone
then
going
it's going
forward.
to be extremely difficult to get that, get that
Well,
working.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if I said it earlier before the podcast started or not, but apparently the new Alan Wake is apparently supposed to be like the closest thing to it that we're ever getting, which is kind of cool. You
It's
know,
Yeah, I
been
can't
pretty
wait to
not
good.
play it.
by Kojima, but yeah, like Kojima. Somebody said that on Twitter. Kojima liked the tweet. Everybody's going snaky over that, and I don't know too much about the game or really about the first game, even Alan Wake, but yeah, it's cool that that one has been so well received, and it seems to be kind of carrying in that tradition a little bit. I
I
The first
said it
game,
yeah,
from. Oh, go ahead.
the first game was pretty good. I would recommend it. Just it's
I would
I
say
thought it was a
it's
little
aged a
bit.
bit.
Yeah, it was very well. You say aged a bit, but it was like very. I remember playing it, and I'm like, wow, this was really crusty even for this time.
yeah.
Like, not super, not like so bad, but it was like this looks like noticeably a little off compared to like
Yeah,
GTA 4 or something. But yeah.
The
it's.
the thing I'll
Oh, go
say
ahead.
is like if you want to just jump to 2, there is a way to catch up. I'm going to recommend Fortnite here. Cut me some slack, but
Oh, good
Oh
God.
no!
since Epic's a publisher, they decided to build like a little world within Fortnite that's kind of like a prelude, catching everyone up, and it was actually really neat. And I wouldn't recommend it because I like Alan Wake, but I wouldn't recommend it if it wasn't good, and it was good. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting. Like again, PT never came, it came out, but the game itself never came out, and PT has been like scrubbed from everything, and yet it's been so incredibly like impactful. Like
It
there's been so
is
many like indie horror games that are just entire ripoffs of PT.
it is the most influential thing that you can no longer access.
yeah, it's
Pretty much, yeah.
like that. That's one of the most disappointing things out of like modern gaming is losing PT. Honestly,
Yeah,
Is there like emulation for it or anything like
there
that?
there have been people creating like fan
ports.
recreations.
Yeah, because
Uh,
Caddy went over that in his video.
Some of the
oh, did
recreations
it?
are pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, there's one in Unreal that I've heard is good, and there's also QT, which is kind of like a cute readaptation of PT into something that's like, oh hey, look, it's a little friend. That is the game that gave us Varg Friend.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's a nice game. I recommend it.
But yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Shit, I should
with
play it again.
with that, we got the future of Silent Hill, but I honestly, what I think we should do is save that for when those all come out. That way, you got a third part coming down the road.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, I mean, so far the fucking renaissance of Silent Hill hasn't been so great with this new thing, and
I
the
mean,
movie
okay. Tell you
seems
what, though,
questionable.
actually, this will make more sense. Tell you what, at the end of a season of Ascension, I mean, I'll go through with the live thing. If you guys want to wait until the episodes are just out, once it's finished with the whole first season, do you guys want to just do an episode for that?
Well, maybe,
Because if it's
yeah. We
shit,
can
If you
then we
always
can
want
make
to,
talk
fun of it.
yeah.
about it.
If it's shit, then we can make fun of it. If it's good, then we can talk about it.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
it's mediocre, then it's just like, yeah, that
I'll
happens.
still find a way to bitch about it if it's mediocre, especially if it's mediocre.
Fair.
I'd rather have something be bad than mediocre. That's honestly, I'd rather see a bad
I
film than a
get that.
mediocre film.
I get that.
Yeah,
Once we
exactly.
do the Doctor Who episode, and if we actually get to the 13th Doctor's era in that video, which
Oh, Jesus,
we
that's
might
impossible.
not,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little rough.
then I'm definitely gonna comment on something similar to that.
I know this isn't related, but man, Doctor Who, they just released that Tales of the TARDIS thing, and that looks
Not
pretty fun.
available, not available outside of Britain. Sucks to be us.
Sure isn't. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yes.
Even though it's supposed to be on the fucking Disney Channel now, and everything
Yeah.
is supposed to be
Doctor
available,
Who
but
coming out with that wand. I'm Doctor Who, and
It's a
this is Disney
license.
Channel. Do 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 do.
Hello, I'm the Doctor, and you're watching Disney Channel.
See,
doesn't have that
I said
much
the Doctor
power.
Who just to get engagement. God damn it.
The
Well,
Doctor
I did it
Who,
right
yeah.
because
Exactly.
I'm an autistic.
Hell yeah. Um,
Uh,
I don't really have anything else, for right now.
we mentioned all three of the new things except Silent Hill Forte.
Yeah. So
Silent Hill
well,
press
yeah,
Silent Hill press F to pay respects for
we
this
only
dead
mentioned.
franchise.
I think we only mentioned Townfall in passing. Townfall, we don't know what it's
Right,
about,
that too.
but it's being made by No Code, so they get the benefit of the doubt. I think it's going to be good. I'm betting
What
it's
have
going to be good.
That's the
what
only
have they
one that
done?
I saw that actually. I don't know if I saw anything from the Townfall game. I don't know what that's going to be, but the
Yeah.
F1, that trailer really looked interesting, and that's another one like 4 that has nothing at all to do with fucking
It's
Silent Hill. It seems
it's
like.
purposely set in 1960s Japan.
What have they made? Well, not the guys who made F, but fucking Townfall. What are the guys who made that? What have they made?
They've done Observation, which I thought was really good, and then Stories Untold, which I thought was a really good first game.
I've heard of neither of these.
I'll recommend Observation. I really liked Observation.
And that's
I'll
different
look
from
into it.
Observer.
It's
Okay.
different from Observer. You
And then for Forte.
in that game you play as a computer AI who is trying to figure out what's going on a space station and trying to direct the one survivor to safety.
Huh.
Okay.
It's really good.
It's cool.
When I heard they were doing a Silent Hill game, I was like, oh, dead ass. All right.
Are you dead ass hit Bowie?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, it seems like they're finally doing a little bit of what I always thought they should do with Castlevania. Like, oh, how hard could it be to just give this to a dedicated indie developer like Metroid Dread was
Yeah.
given to
Have
like an
they
indie team.
have they done anything with Castlevania since the
Well,
show?
there's the Dead Cells DLC, which I understand is like a little more than people think it is, but
Yeah.
less than it maybe should be, you know?
I mean, funny enough,
Hmm.
the guys who did Lords of Shadow are the guys who did Metroid Dread.
Yeah, and every game they made before Metroid Dread, including the other Metroid game, was terrible.
Hey man, space fucking Lords of Shadow 1 was okay. They did make honestly
I disagree.
honestly, hold on, they made Jericho. How the fuck are they still in business after that? Holy shit, Clive Barker's Jericho.
Oh, that game is like a
Oh
kind of.
no!
Don't people like that one?
I don't
No, people
remember.
like
That
Clive
one's
Barker's Undying.
yeah,
Clive Barker's
Undying.
Jericho is
Undying fucks.
awful.
Undying fucks.
Oh, I've heard of Undying. I think I played it like a decade ago, but Jericho I've heard of. I'm like, wait, wasn't that a good one? No. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to look into it.
what is Clive Barker doing?
I hope he's
Rotting.
dead. I don't know anything about him.
Let's
He's
see.
probably a very nice man.
I
He
like
is
Hellraiser.
alive, so
Oh.
that's good.
That's good. I
Yeah.
just like
Film work.
I
Is it
do
2022 reboot of Hellraiser. He's the executive producer on that.
that one was actually pretty good, so
He is writing a novel called Deep Hill.
hell yeah.
He
all
his
right,
last
so let's finish up the Silent Hill real quick. Sorry.
okay. So yeah, go check out some Clive Barker stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Check
That's
out
kind
Silent
of
Hill. Check
Silent
out.
Hill. Silent Hill adjacent.
Sure.
It's close enough. We we haven't really seen Konami come back with any of their like they've tried stuff with Contra, but that's obviously not been good. And then now they're trying again with Metal Gear, which the collection is better than I thought it would be.
Is that saying much?
That's saying a lot. I thought it could be way
Alright.
worse. But Ascension, a lot of these things, the only one that's actually directly published by Konami, by the way, this is actually interesting, because Townfall is being published by both Konami and Annapurna. because they own no code. Ascension is not technically being published. It's a different beast, but it's technically its publisher is Genvid, not Konami. And then Silent Hill F and the 2 remake are the only two that are the two of the half, I should say, that are being published by Konami themselves. They don't have any oversight. Those are the ones I'm cautiously optimistic for. I hope that when we come back to talk about Silent Hill down the road, that we're looking at Silent Hill in a good state, and we're not...
God, I hope so.
Yeah,
I really hope so.
It has been years, literally a decade, 11 years since the last Silent Hill game.
Silent Hill fans have been starving alone in the corner for over a decade. And then Resident Evil fans, myself included, we're over here eating good, being well fed.
Multiple different styles of Resident Evil too.
Yeah, the fans of the good stuff, the fans of the bad stuff, the fans of the really bad stuff.
It took Silent Hill dying an awful death for Resident Evil to become great again.
Yeah, I know, right? There can be only one.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of stuff that's similar to Silent Hill out there that's like fan, stuff that's like what do you call it? Spiritual successor type of thing, but
recently
none of it ever really fills the hole.
Recently the best one has been Signalis, which I will recommend.
I played a little bit of that and I loved every second of it, but I don't know what. I just stopped.
Now it's the time to go back.
Yeah, somebody's phone vibrated.
Very true. But with that, I think we're going to wrap up this second take of Silent Hill we had. Again, Cushy Dreams, code loud 25.
Don't get your.
Oh shit! We didn't do the ad read that we were supposed to do in the middle.
Yeah, we didn't.
Listen, everybody.
Yes.
Code 25. Loud 25.
Yeah. Yes.
Loud 25. Get yourself something 25% off. We're focusing on the giveaway, but still 25% off. Even if you don't win the giveaway,
yeah, you're still
you're already saving money.
You've already won a different kind of giveaway.
That's the great thing about the giveaway. You're entered into a giveaway just by buying weed, which you might be doing anyway, right? Yeah. You're already a weed smoker. You're already based.
Hey, if you're not, just get yourself something small. You save 25% off on it anyway, and then if you decide you like it, use our code again, loud25.
Yeah, we're getting close to Thanksgiving right now, folks. You're gonna want to have to deal with your family, and trust me, the only way I can personally do that is baked out of my ass. So
understandable.
And again, imagine you're going through Silent Hill and you need something to chill out. You want to pass Pyramid Head of a joint. This is the place you go to. Cushy Dreams.
Hell yeah!
Oh yeah,
folks. Take 25% off of your weed order. Don't take 25% off of your foreskin.
Exactly.
Do not get circumcised.
That too, especially as an adult.
You can help it.
Especially as an adult, that will just hurt.
If you've gone this long without it, trust me, you're not missing out. You're not missing out on much.
Look, you can't regrow it, but if you're an adult and you can remember it, probably don't get it cut off. That's probably a recommendation. Don't rant about it online if it's already cut off. Don't go buy a tugger. I remember.
Just learn to live
TLC tugger. Don't go tie it into the Bluey lore or anything.
God.
Please, God, no.
We're going.
Bluey Wiki doesn't need that. There's going to be kids looking at that.
Yeah, don't go on wikis and harass people. That's something. I can't believe we have to say that.
Takeaway.
I can't believe we have to say that.
Yeah. Well, with that, folks, I think that wraps up the spooky Silent Hill discussion.
That does.
Unless anybody else has anything?
I don't. Like I said, I'll probably frequently try to update if it's going good on the normal podcast for the show.
Oh yeah, no, I'm thinking.
Sure.
I doubt we need like a whole episode on it. Just frequent updates as it goes along, because I'm also going to be looking into videos about the whole thing too.
I do think though that when it all is like said and done for the season, I do think that idea of like coming back after rewatching everything and all of us talking about it.
Maybe sit through, watch the whole thing. Yeah, maybe.
Because they've said they're going on for. I mean, it'll be 6 months from now, is what they said. So,
wow,
a lot of episodes.
Well,
Seems like it's gonna at
See if
least
it
be something.
if it carries Steam, yeah.
I mean, it's interesting me enough to where I want to see what they're gonna do with this. And again, like I said earlier, I'm a sucker for whenever they try someone tries something new, and this is new. I've never seen a show like this or release like this, so
You're also into the Doctor Disrespect NFT game.
I didn't pay for the NFT. I got the
I know. You're not that bad.
yeah,
I'm not saying you're that bad.
look.
Yeah, just take it with a bit of a grain of
Yeah.
salt.
I'm a sucker for weird new shit. I'm willing to admit that.
Yeah, that's fair. And again, yeah, Ascension seems kind of interesting. It's like weird, but it's interesting.
Could be good,
Yeah.
could be shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. With that, folks, we're gonna end the episode. Have a good night, and
Take it easy, homies.
yep, peace.
Penis.
Anus.
All right.